All right. Hello, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Divine Right of Kings on this wonderful day. Uh, let's recap a little bit. Let's set the scene. Commander Crocuta had dived into the center of the that unearthed part of the ship. We saw Hero smacked her really hard with his detonating lance, and she swiveled around with her head, the head of her mech, sort of like hanging on only by a few cables. And Dozer just reached forward and just took the head as she ejected. She started like giggling gleefully. She ejected free, and she said, "Finally, I get to tell you. I've been waiting years. I get to tell you what it is." And in that moment, Hero, you heard that voice of the young child's voice, the young boy's voice, coming over your speakers, all of your speakers, saying like, "Please help, Bookkeeper. What's your response?"
Oh, you mean me?
Hero, thank you. My apologies.
I say we're here to help.
Fantastic. And we're here to help. We hear Commander Crocuta over here continue giggling and say, "Well, first of all, we're going to rip off all of your..." And then we cut to black.
Rip off all of
And in that blackness, as we are... Maybe we weren't always in the darkness. Maybe we are just now in the darkness. Or the darkness has always been here. And so have we. Don't crash. Don't crash. Hero, you realize that the young woman that you saw in the previous fight, right? In the previous fight, there was that moment you saw from 30 years ago where there was this young woman. You realize that the face that you saw was that of Charlotte's mother 28 years, 30 years ago. Charlotte's mother 30 years ago. And all of you are here in darkness. How do you start? All of you experience like a very sudden darkness outside of your cockpits, and a sudden stillness as the battle raging before. Does anyone have an action?
Is it still dark?
It's dark. It's the lights in your cockpit are here, but it's still dark.
Is it like, can we not, like, dark as in we can't see in front of us, or dark as in it's just like, are we talking about like, is it pitch black, or are we talking about like it's just very dark, like it's hard to see?
It's like there's no light sources in the room.
Okay.
We are in a cave and no lights are on except for our cockpit.
Perhaps you see the sort of the dull glow of Red Heaven's generators.
Bookkeeper's gonna ask for a status report from everyone else in the squad, and ask somebody with a sensors range larger than 5 to do a scan of the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say Penn would want to scan, just see what's out there.
Sand.
Am I dead?
There's
God,
sand.
God, I hope not, because if you're dead, I'm dead.
Well, at least we can be dead together.
Does being dead include lots of sand? Because that's what we've got.
I mean, I've never been, so...
You appear to be on, like... You sense, like, computer arrays, maybe some sort of ship, but the space around you largely is just solid dense matter.
Have like, I don't know,
Can Vashti
floodlights? Do any of our mechs have flood or flashlights attached to them?
I mean, I assume you all have, like, at the very least, you all have person portable flashlights on your mechs.
Yeah.
We have headlights.
Yeah.
Can I just start?
Can I say that the red hen has like an obnoxious LED stab light in one of its eyes?
Oh, that sounds so cute. Yeah.
It's horrible and like red orange.
Of course it is.
Hero, what were you saying?
I was like, can I just start like stumbling forward?
Yeah.
I just want to move forward.
I have brought your guys' minis along. Please resize them
Oh.
to the map.
Yeah, can I just hop out then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your mechs are all fully functional as much
And
as they
with,
were
like,
when
a
they started.
flashlight?
Yep. Everyone's got a flashlight.
Yeah, I'll just
Wait,
hop
you're
out with the
transported
flashlight.
to a mysterious dark place, and you, after being in a battle, and your first instinct is to leave the mech?
Well,
Like-
I mean, if I have a flashlight, right?
Almost gonna, as he sees you getting out, just be like, you know how it went last time you got out of the cockpit? Maybe be careful.
Yeah. That's fair.
As you climb out, sort of red hens like orange LED
But you guys
light.
did a scan and there wasn't anybody here.
That's
So-
I
true.
mean, there isn't anybody here.
No life signs detected. The orange light plays across the back of all these like powered down dead monitors.
I like just do a quick scan and there's like nobody here, yeah?
No life signs.
Okay. I think it's safe to come out. There's a bunch of monitors?
Yeah.
Like computer screens.
Dex for something, but the power's off right now.
Can I see this big thing over here?
Yeah. Yeah, there's this. It looks really complicated. Like the rest of this machinery, it looks like kind of old, maybe. But this piece you're coming up against, like the wiring inside of it looks very intricate. And it displays like a loading beacon. And 15% rebooting capacity, and you watch the percentage of like repair capacity completed move slowly creep upwards, then it hits that 15% and it resets to the beginning and it starts creeping up again.
Oh no.
Is there
Looks like there's like damage
Is
to this
there-
console, like it was hit by
Yes.
something.
anything I can do to like possibly repair it?
That weapon's damage is
Oh, like significant?
extensive.
Okay. So it's just dark in here. Why would they be guarding a dark, broken pit if there wasn't something worth protecting in here?
Behind me.
Oh, there's a door, huh?
Yeah, that's what Penn wants to go look at, if that's an option.
I will say it's only Penn can bring their mech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like lucky. Do you want to go scope it out first so
Yeah,
that
I do.
my soft, squishy body doesn't get hurt again?
Good
Oh,
call.
Your soft, squishy body is technically harder than the paramnesia, so.
I mean,
But not my body isn't the armor I'm wearing might be.
but also I'm good at not getting hit. So
Yeah.
we'll, rely on that for now.
And I have proven not to be.
Yeah. But yeah, what's this doorway? Am I able to?
It's just a hallway. I mean, looking down it, it's just a hallway.
Okay. Thank God the door's open.
But when you look down the hallway and it kind of keeps going, it feels like your like light projector should go farther down the hallway than it does.
Oh, good.
And when you look down the hallway, just through your speakers, kind of chopped up audio, you just hear this like small child like giggle.
Fuck, that sucks.
Okay.
Can we hear that audibly? Back here?
Through Penn's speakers. Not loud. Just inside Penn's suit.
Okay. So we can't. Okay.
And then the crunchy audio kind of transitions to like, please help. Stuck.
Have we headed into the second area?
No one has tried to head down the hallway.
I want to try to do that, yeah.
Awesome.
Honestly suck, but one way to find out what's happening. Oh.
Who keeps tapping us?
Could I move up?
With Red Hen?
Yeah. Just
you can clamber over the consoles, but it will like. Sure.
There's a path in the middle, right?
Yeah, there's kind of a path in the middle. It's a little, it's a little bit of a gentle slope, but yeah, you can do it. So it's a little tight, close quarters, but also like you could clamber over those monitors if you really wanted to. But you can't make it through these doors.
I'm gonna say Wilma's gonna dismount as well. Fuck it, might as well all get minced together.
Yay!
Well, who's first?
I vote me because I can probably leave the fastest.
I wasn't gonna say it, but well, after you.
All right, yeah. I step into the mysterious child giggle hallway.
Yeah, and the hallway kind of continues on. How close are y'all following?
A ways back, at least for me.
And yeah,
probably looking through the edge of the door right now. Actually,
the hallway kind of continues as you're leaving. You see that it says, like you see like a set of signs denoting that this is the bridge.
I guess we'll start moving down the hallway and following.
Yeah, the power is down right now. Thank you for your patience.
So just say if anybody doesn't want to follow.
Yeah, bookkeeper get out of Red Hen or?
Yes.
Okay.
And as you as you progress, you find this kind of this there's not many turnoffs on the hallway, as if it just kind of stretches, or maybe as you look at your feet, you're walking the same amount of hallway. It feels like you're progressing.
Oh, is the screen supposed to be black?
Yes. Yes. I'm just gonna keep spawning your dupes as we do.
For on Twitch as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, as you keep progressing down the hallway, it feels like you're retracing your steps, maybe, but it does feel like you're getting deeper. The darkness feels like it's getting heavier. And then there's a door off to the side, and there's a door in front of you, and it opens into this little break room over here. I'm gonna pop this open and let you guys fix your little minis in the thing. Whoop. This looks very utilitarian.
Is it possible this is Penn still in their mech?
Yeah. Yeah. Whoops. Let me figure out how I can do that. Give me one moment.
You're so little.
Thank you for your patience, everyone. There were some technical difficulties in prep, so we are figuring it out live.
These little model things look incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these weird tables.
And like the
Pen.
effect of walking into a room or like not knowing what's through the next door. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Congratulations to the size 1/2 mech. You are the only person in a mech, which I think is cute.
Congratulations.
And also, as we've entered into new rooms, if folks wouldn't mind resizing themselves to fit whatever the size is, because not all of the scales are constant, because some of us are goobers when we build maps.
All right. Are these lockers?
Yeah, there's a row of lockers along this wall. Maybe this is a break room. These are kind of hostile looking metal chairs.
Classic break room architecture. Or
kind of
design.
militaristic, kind of military.
Bastion's just gonna start trying to open all of these lockers. Free stuff. No, just to investigate what might be happening here.
Here, let me just whoop. Nope. There we go.
It's like personal belongings, anything left behind. Maybe key
You know,
cards.
there's uniforms. There's a couple like photos of folks back home. But all the uniforms are sort of labelless, like they don't have any identifying information on them, which is peculiar. Like you'd think, right? Uniforms would have identifying information, would have like some sort of like who is what group is issuing these military uniforms, but they don't.
Oh.
And the lights kind of come up a little bit, and you see two women over here. One of them's leaning against the table. The other one's like doing something in her locker. They sort of like part of their uniforms are off. Like they're like they have a flight jumpsuit like around their waist. A pilot jumpsuit around their waist. And they're both in like just like a black standard issue t-shirts. It looks like. The one over here is sort of broader in her build, and she's got like a tattoo peeking out from underneath her t-shirt, and like got a bunch of scars all over. And over here she looks maybe younger. As another pilot, looks a little bit nervous. She's I just don't know if we're here for the right reasons. I was told I was gonna make sure that humanity survived. And the other one laughed. She goes, look, we're always making sure, if you're still here, we're making sure humanity survives. What matters is we do what we gotta do. listen, there's all kind of scrapes in this world, but you, I'm just glad you're looking out for yourself, kid. Does anyone have an action?
It's a bit more passive, but can I roll to attempt to figure out any ties to factions in the background? Factions, places, countries.
Yeah, based on what? Yeah.
Photographs, cultural cues, just like absolutely like the bare minimum, and like
Give me
just
2
try.
levels of disadvantage.
Okay. And is that an investigate roll?
Sure. Investigate sounds good.
That is a
You know,
4.
at a general brush, like a lot of what's that one thing that they said in the Fallout show that I really liked? It's like a lot of people trying to save the world, they just disagree on how. A little unclear on what it means. They don't appear to be able to see you. First one says, look, kid, I've been in a lot of scrapes. You're not. This is just pre-piloting jitters. Just get a little of that lavender in there. It'll work out just fine. And Saber and the sort of the younger of the two of them goes, yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know about all this. I mean, if you checked the news, the larger of the two of them goes, listen, ours is not to question why. Ours is but to do and die. And the person just like rolls her eyes. She goes, isn't that stupid? That's stupid. That's a stupid saying for stupid people. That's not helpful. If we don't... Bastion, do you have an action?
I was gonna are either of these people at all familiar?
No.
Okay.
Never seen them before in your life.
Okay, got it.
They don't appear to be able to see you yet, which is interesting.
I'll move closer. Just
Yeah.
I want to know. Bastion wants to know the extent to which this time fuckery is, like, what the boundaries of it are, right?
Mm-hmm. So as you move closer, the younger of the two pilots is gonna like not acknowledge you, maybe, but like do that like social gesture when someone steps a little closer, where you just like step in, sort of preconsciously. Just look, I'm really not sure what we're doing here. I know when I was enlisted, I thought it'd be a good plan. Like I thought that, I don't know, it'd save the world, and the bigger the older of the two of them just like laughs. Just, well, save the world. I have seen so many worlds, and I tell you what, I don't know if what we're doing is saving them. And she slams her locker, all nice and casual. But we're making headway. Making headway. And the younger of the two of them goes, maybe I do just gotta put my nose to the grindstone. I don't know. If we can pass the filter, we can pass whatever this is. And the older of the two of them comes over and taps on, like, gives her a hearty like slap on the shoulder and goes, that's the spirit. And she starts to smile more comfortably, and then she looks up, Bastion, and she sees you. She makes eye contact with you. And she yells, and the power she yells, "Who?" And the power flickers, and the two of them just vanish.
All right.
And you're back in that darkened state that we were in before with the lights. Like something overtaxed the power generation.
What was that timer you saw earlier, Bastion?
The what?
That countdown? There was a console that you looked at that seemed to have a...
Oh, it was a broken. It was trying to load, but was stopped at 15% and couldn't seem to load further due to weapon damage. I don't know what it was. It looked complicated.
Are there any exits to this room, or is this the only entrance exit?
Oh, that's where we... I think that's where we came in. I think this would be...
Okay, that is a door. I wasn't sure if it was a
Yeah.
screen.
No, it looks like a door.
Well, suppose the only way to figure this out is to either go back and bash on that console or further up and further in.
I don't think that there's much we can do on that console. I think it's really broken, beyond repair.
Yeah, alright. Well, further up and further in.
What are other people's theories on the child's voice?
I mean, I assume it can't. It's not a living child.
Yeah, almost.
Does anyone
convinced
else
this
have
has
anything
to
they
be-
want to look at in this room? Like any of the rest of the contents of the lockers or anything?
I will look at the locker that she opened.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple like photos with squad mates, but it looks like they've been like redacted, like the printout was redacted, not like they're, mystically altered, but like the printout has removed people's faces. So whatever mission she was on, maybe the identities had to be redacted, but she still has this. There's like a squad mate photo and a couple of big mechs you can't quite see in the background. There's a uniform. Again, there's no identifying information on the uniforms. Like, there's a name. She's like Pilot 3rd Class Melville, but like, there's no like faction identifications. It's just kind of an orange jumpsuit, which is weird, right? Because normally when you dress your military up in uniforms, you want them to be recognizable. So why would someone dress someone in a uniform that they're not supposed to be identified with, or that it's harder to get a beat on who it is that's hiring them?
I don't
what
like
the filter
this.
is.
I don't like this.
I have a silly idea.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze out. You wear overalls under your suit, right?
Yeah.
And you're a pretty good diplomat. Do you think it'd be possible for you to wear one of these jumpsuits and attempt to blend in?
Oh God.
I mean,
Just as an
maybe,
option.
but like they're in. It would be better for them, I think, to stay in the mech.
I mean, my mech can also just follow me.
You can also wear it under the mech if you wear like, because it's a set of overalls and like a t-shirt, right? It's not complex, but
I think my mech is large enough that it wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but
Would be pretty funny though.
it would
it's
be
a
funny.
good idea.
Sure, Penn will hop out of his mech. Where am I? There I am. And just
Too little.
how do I change the size? Thank you. And try on one of the jumpsuits.
giving me the creeps.
Oh, it's feeling some form of haunted. Not like necessarily literally with ghosts, but some form. Yeah. But also, Hero has also proven outside that we can interact with them, and it seems to be more reliable if we're the ones who initiate interaction. I don't know.
It's just
There's theories and concepts happening.
it's giving me the creeps, and I want to get out of here. I don't like it. I will. If we're done in here, does everyone feel done in here?
External door time. Let's go.
Are you gonna wear the jumpsuit?
Yeah.
Cool. I fell over. Bastion goes to the door and just fucking beefs it. You've gone back to a non-loading screen, just so you know. There you go.
Me? Unless it magically disappears, I am still in the suit.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, that suit. I thought you meant the. I if I am allowed to just have my mech following me, because it has a
you've
ComCon
muted
unit in it.
yourself. Back it.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. So yes, thank you for your patience, everyone. We're trying very hard to not have a repeat of the last time with the silence. So yeah, so you saw the thing sloping down at the as you walked along the hallway. It sloped down and sloped down. But then it started looking a little bit nicer, as if it was an area that wasn't frequented as much. It wasn't a crew area as much. And the lights are and you find yourself at a door with they've mostly disintegrated, but very fancy looking banners, or maybe like they were ripped off.
Ooh.
Very fancy looking banners, and when you enter through the door with the banners around it, you find a small office space.
The banners. I'm assuming they're destroyed enough that we can't see the symbol on them, but can
Not
we tell
especially. They
color?
look like they were ripped down by someone.
Can we see color?
A little bit of blue and orange.
Okay.
A bit of blue and orange, something big stripes. In its official capacity, so not like tapestries, but like maybe rank insignia or flags.
I mean, I assumed that it was a one of the banners of one of the houses. I don't know
Not
if
like
that's accurate.
It doesn't look quite like any of the noble houses you've ever seen.
Interesting.
And Bastion, do you have an action?
Oh yeah, Bastion's just gonna check out the painting and the painting supplies in this room.
Yeah, so the painting on the wall appears to be of some ruins in a landscape, but they're sort of expressed in a way where they look grandiose. They look very important. They look like they're supposed to impose over a landscape. And you might, like, at first you're like, oh, this is one of those. This is an Ozymandias type expression, right? Visually, the composition might speak to the idea that these ancient ruins were fell to ruin, and they were self-aggrandizing, right? They spoke more to their importance than was truly there. But the more you look at it, the more you're like, no, the point of the landscape is the buildings, is the ruins. Almost like the thing that's necessary about them, the thing that's important about the world around it is these structures. And this screen flicks on. And there's enough damage to the screen that it's hard to tell. But there's the silhouette of someone sitting in front of a window. Sounds like, from what you can see from the sort of the glitchy pixel damage screen. You hear her straighten papers and you hear her say, I just don't think that this one's quite the same. And I believe that with our limited resources, we can't afford to waste time and energy on projects that aren't going to provide us the necessary assets for total victory. Does anyone have an act? And from the place where this chair is, although there's no one currently in it, you hear like a man's voice go, well, I don't know how to tell you what's best, what's most optimal, but I do know that my research provides a total military victory. I believe that 6 different tribunals can't be wrong about the efficacy or importance of my research. Does anyone have an action?
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, Almo's actually gonna just ask Freeze out if they'd be interested in interacting.
Yeah, I think that Penn would walk up and just see if, like, is it that we can't see the person in the chair because chair too big, or we can see that there is no person in chair?
When you were walking towards it, it might have been an empty chair, but as you turn to the side of it, so you can see it a little better, you see a man sitting in that chair.
He's
A very organized little suit. Just a blonde man, maybe mid-30s?
Okay.
Late 30s? A little unclear.
Does he look familiar?
You can give me a roll for that. Give me a roll with 2 steps of disadvantage.
That's rude. That's rude to give me disadvantage.
Bookkeeper, odd, I mean, kind of recurring, but Pasha, you notice there's this book down here on the ground by the door. It doesn't quite look like the other objects in the room. Like there's not much dust. There's a little bit of a layer of dust on things.
That's a 9.
But there's not that much layer of dust on this book. Yeah, he looks like a little bit familiar. He says, listen, I don't know if you're following the news. I think you're whoever's got your ear is exaggerating. I think these recent events are nothing a little mint and lavender can't fix. And he rolls his eyes like he said something very clever.
Is there? Do I know when I might recognize him?
Oh, for a 9. He feels familiar, but you can't quite place him. He feels like you've interacted with him at some point, maybe.
Sure.
But something about his face, but it doesn't look like someone you remember.
Is God. Yeah. Can I check to see if I recognize?
I mean,
And
you,
or
you
am I allowed to? I don't know. I don't know.
you can also
Yeah.
make check at the person on the screen, or him, or like his outfit, or his effects, or his books, or just any of the things around y'all.
Can I check for the person on the screen?
Yeah, what do you want to know about them?
Do I recognize them?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. He looks kind of familiar. She not at all.
I
Mars,
have
what are you
no
looking
idea
for?
who he is.
No idea.
No idea.
He doesn't. Mars, for even on a 3, doesn't look like anyone you've met.
Okay.
Maybe, or that,
I also-
either he looks like no one you've met, or he's distant enough in appearance from when you met him that it's not connecting.
Right. Can I also check the screen person who's hard to make out?
Yeah, what do you want to know about her?
Just again, if she's like familiar, and not necessarily like in a I've met her way, but like
Sure.
I don't know, political / whatever, knowing
Go
all the
for it.
names and faces.
Go for it.
I'm -2 difficulty
Yeah.
or 2 difficulty. Yeah.
Oh no, Chad has read the title of the stream. So Mart,
-1.
but still, like, you're pretty sure you don't recognize her, but you were looking around, making politics checks at things.
Uh-huh.
She's sitting in her office, right? Those were straightening papers.
Yeah.
She's got a window behind her. The window is opening on. It's hard to see right behind the big executive chair she's sitting in. Nice leather, maybe. Maybe the sound of some sort of coastal bird. In that overlook from her office. So, like, important, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, special. She says, well, we're looking at these. Well, we're speaking of things that are important to mission clarity. What are these reports I keep hearing? These. And she holds a piece of paper, reads it again to make sure, and like grins for her. These mystical appearances. Some of your crew reports contain sightings of ghosts. And he just laughs. He goes, oh no, don't get suspicious on me now. And she says, could it have anything to do with your research? I'm asking seriously. That's just because a few junior crewmates got a little spooked. We might have dissidents in the walls, but that is what it is sometimes. If they're found, they'll be removed. They can't be a threat to us for real. And Mars, as you look at this, and freeze out. Pardon me. Pardon me. Freeze out as you look at the screen. You notice there's like maybe smoke coming from one of the hills in the background of her call. Slightly visible from the office. It's not smoke that's close to her. She shouldn't necessarily be evacuating from whatever that is, but like it's smoke. She says, I do not think perhaps this time that applying enough mint and lavender will be enough. And he goes, listen, we've dealt with lots of these things before. And she says, you need to keep your house in order if this council is going to continue to approve your funding. He puts up his, when people do that, like putting up the hands in front of them gesture where they're like, no, you're agreeing with me, actually.
Can I make a roll real quick for the person on the screen?
Yeah.
Can I just see what is their response to the terms lavender, right? Like, how do they feel about this being thrown around?
Go for it.
Is that perception or?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Wait, Olmo, is that a term you've heard before? I don't know that it is.
I don't think so. Nine.
On a 9? No. But this, like, no, but it's not like a code phrase. It's not like, from the way they respond, like, you're not sure what the meaning is. But she's not shocked by it. He's not shocked by it. And, like, it's not a code phrase. But on a 9, that's a cultural term that gets used. Maybe, do you know how culturally sometimes cultures will devise these phrases to say nicely something that is deeply ugly so that it becomes socially acceptable?
Mm-hmm.
That feels like how this term might be being used.
Okay. And then I think Harvest, did you have any actions you wanted to queue up, or?
Yeah, I wanted to check the book. Just run a scan on it, see if it's made of synthetic or biological material. If it's made of biological material, see what I can glean from that. But more importantly, the contents of the book and its title. If it's safe to touch.
Real book hours. It's all paper, all biological, bound with paste. So like it was built almost like a replica of like older techniques, right? Pre-stellar bookbinding techniques. It's like a collector's item almost. It's like volume 6 of a history. It's talking, funnily enough, that volume 6 of that history is talking about the first war between the first contact war between Karakin and Union, and it's talking about the sort of the brave actions of the Union Navy in firing their salvos and the tactical genius of firing on the planet instead of the fleet itself. Kind of talks at length, because when you read a text about military action, often there'll be like, you can tell pretty quickly whether or not the author is like thinks that war is an ugly tragedy that people do to each other, or thinks that war fighting is cool and the big bang bangs go bang, and all the people who do the war fighting are cool actually because they made a bang bang happen. And it's very much in that second category, right, of the like completely uncritical belief that war is cool and good.
God.
There's almost, as you read through it, there's almost a vibe that like
war written by people who never fought in it.
War written by people who never fought in it, or war written by a person who truly believes in it. Like, the natural state of the world is conflict, so of course, when we found this new culture, there was conflict. Because that's the natural state of the world. That's how the world works.
And did I get the exact, like, so the overall message is that the SECOM artillery, interplanetary artillery was brilliant, or the interception of it was brilliant?
Oh, the firing of the mass rounds at population centers on the planet, because it broke the Karakin formation.
Who wrote this book, and where was it published?
His name's kind of forgotten by history.
But the place shouldn't
But
be.
the publishing location, Cradle.
Oh, fuck. And is there a time, a year for that? Relative to where we're at now?
There is a year. It's about 350 years ago. No, sorry, hold on. Let me do the math.
When I say relative to right
750 years
now.
to your current subjective time.
Okay.
But does this book... Sorry, I'm obviously not examining the book, but does it look old?
I actually
At
have
this
a
point,
question since the scanner can kind of this is biological material. Can I get a rough carbon date off it?
Remind me, carbon dating. What's the accuracy of carbon dating?
I believe it would capture like it's not great. Mars knows this. I'm sorry.
I'm Googling.
I mean, the answer is that it's about 750 years old because this is a first edition.
okay. So
this
it,
It's a
okay.
first edition, and you can tell partially because the ribbon is like the right color for the binding around it, and there's little strips of gold leaf along the binding to accentuate it. Like this is a luxury product.
Got it.
I'm trying to capture the date of the object subjective to where we are now to see if we're somewhere fucky.
Yeah, I mean, so wait, say,
I
oh,
guess
you're I see. You want to compare the date of the object to see how much time the object has experienced
Yes.
subjectively.
Yes. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you. No, it's a good thing to check. I mean, also our carbon dating has increased in its capacity, probably. Like we have other things to like. We have more precise instruments than modern day.
Okay, and also it looks like in terms of time scale for carbon dating, they used measures of standard deviations, which means that honestly, what about stuff that's more modern? Sorry. Okay, so it looks like actually the more recent it is, the more likely it is to be accurate.
Okay. Yeah, so it is about. It has experienced about 750 years of time.
Okay. So we're in the present.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Sorry,
But if
it's
in this moment-
experienced about. It's experienced about 55 years of time.
Oh no.
this is 55 years in the past.
The book has experienced 55 years of time contiguously. No, sorry, 750. Your scanner must have been wrong.
I see.
You thought
Yes,
it said
the
55 for a
Vespers.
second. But then it said 750 again. So it's fine.
Am I is Pasha registering the dissonance here?
Yeah.
Okay. Does time like that register visually with a amount of decay? Is it kind of flickering?
The book is not actually the state of decay of the book is pretty stable just because it's very well cared for. So it doesn't look all that different. But your scanners are definitely freaking out. Does did you have an action? I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I guess I should ask first, are you relaying the information about the book to everyone, or?
Absolutely.
Okay, this has to be, like, I was thinking, but it has to be NHP fuckery of some sort. That's the only...
I'm just doing a slippery thing.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
They're just like continuing to have their conversation in the corner over here.
What are they continuing? They're just continuing to. What are they talking about?
Budget cuts, sort of a vague, ambient social concern that's not super clear what it is. But she's very convinced that like we might be in a precipice of a social tipping point that's very bad, and he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't worry yourself about that."
Look, I've read all kinds of stories
With a
about what
texty little
happens
smile.
in these situations, and most of them do not end well for anybody involved. But all we can do is keep moving forward.
Is there
And-
an exit?
Oh, there's just the one door to the office, and there's just this Frieza, how you doing? Standing next to Mr. Man.
Can I like look at the stuff on his desk?
Yeah, he's got a little hourglass piece of memorabilia. He's got a book on his lap that he was reading, but he's now taking this call. Sort of beside his desk here, there's a space. It looks like it will be a. It looks like it would be a display for a globe, but whatever planet it's supposed to be hasn't been placed in that yet. Over here, there's a paint set, like a very traditionalist paint set. He appears to be like some form of painter in his spare time.
Are these like boards over here?
They're spare canvases.
Okay, so they don't have anything on them.
No.
Are there any finished or works that are in progress?
I mean, that one on the
That
wall
one, yeah.
might be a finished work from him, but it's a little
Okay.
unclear.
Damn, I'm not good at painting though.
It just from a passing vibe. Look at those the way the paints are set up. It doesn't appear like it's it doesn't appear to be like painting for subsistence. That's a hobby this man has,
Yeah.
and his research budget is the main thing that he does with his time.
He's a reason.
I have a proposal for something. Please ignore me if it's off, but like it could be very funny.
What are you looking for?
If we can theoretically interact with people in the past and or future, walking into their subjectivity and rattling off a currently observable date, time, and location that's under surveillance and checking it after we get out of here could tell us a lot.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean we could.
Oh my god, I love that.
on Freeze Out, you have your closest. You have free action.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Pen would totally just does Pasha share this idea with the with the group? Hell yeah.
Pasha shares everything.
Hell yeah.
You could do it for like tomorrow.
Well,
The question is, are we going to get this data point while it's... I mean, I think we should do this, but what's it going to tell us now?
it won't tell us anything now. But it
You also
could...
clocked like the lights were a little lower in the break room, and they're a little higher now. So like whatever's happening each cycle, when it crashes back down and the power starts rising back up, it is getting more intense.
I don't know if we're
Okay.
going to be coming back to this place or if we're even going to be alive tomorrow.
That's very fair. I was gonna give it the location of like
Something yesterday, maybe.
That would be interesting.
yeah. How about the shitty coffee shop across this, like, that's a couple blocks away from SSC Tower?
I love this. What are you gonna do about it?
Penn is going to walk up to this man. Like, I was kind of already in his business since I was like looking at his desk and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna turn to face him, I guess. Like, try to make eye contact.
I thought you were just looking from afar. Let me know when you cross his like this like 180 line of vision.
Get his ass.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that.
What are you doing while you cross his line of vision?
I guess I'm going to look at him and say the name of the coffee shop.
And
And-
the woman on the screen gasps and the monitor cuts out.
Yesterday's date.
And he turns and like this the like dawning horror on his face, and he like lunges at you with the first object he has to hand, which is this book that was in his lap. And the power and he like takes a swing at you, and the power cuts and he vanishes. Power.
We need to be
And
careful.
he
about how many times
vanishes,
we
and the
interact.
book leaves his hand and goes sailing through the air into this back wall and lands on the floor again.
Can
And it
I?
was never picked up again.
Can
Well,
I?
it will have always been picked up again. You know how it is.
Can I take this hourglass?
Yeah. All yours.
It's mine now.
All yours. It's one of the bougiest objects you've had the displeasure of interacting with.
It's mine now.
While we're being kleptomaniac freaks, can Bookkeeper make a search roll to find the nicest, most relevant book to him? To just
Yeah, well, I mean, what kind of books are you looking for? You have free reign of these shelves. What kind of books are you looking for?
Something expensive and rare and in poor taste. Something I'm
a lot
sure.
of... Oh, sorry. Please go ahead. Expensive, rare, poor taste.
Whatever is the hardest to get. Whatever is going to be, you know, if I pick this up, I could buy another library maybe. Or at
There's a
least
couple. There's a couple in here that are probably considered lost media.
God. How much
They
can
are
I
the
carry?
bad parts of, like, just ugly parts of the OmniNet are like, oh, it was so cool, and everyone was like, it is well known as being a racist text that radicalized a bunch of people and got a bunch of people killed, and they're like yeah, but like, it speaks to me, bro. Parts of the OmniNet are very into. They're mostly, a lot of these are military histories. A lot of these are memoirs. There's a shelf that's like largely like technical manuals and a couple like essentially like science theses.
Mm-hmm. Can I do a quick scan to see which of these have been picked up the most often? Like,
oh, beautiful, yes. Wonderful question to have for books. We're actually here just to ask questions of books. So I hope the mech community is ready for some book question asking.
I mean, it's Bookkeeper's job. It's very important.
Yeah, that's what he does. He keep the books.
It's in the
Exactly.
name.
It's in the name. He keep the books.
It's in the name.
Am I rolling investigate?
Yeah, that sounds like
Can I
a
have
decent,
accuracy
a
for
good
my
enough skill
background?
trigger for that. That sounds good.
Okay. Can I have accuracy for my background?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's the name, but
It's not that you have penalties all the time. It's just you have penalties to some of these things the first time you roll.
The first roll above a 10. Or
We got,
above a 9
listen,
in the
I
session.
would be very disoriented if I was underground in a dead ship under the sand. Yeah. Yeah, you find like there's a couple, I mean, poor taste, there's a lot of books in very poor taste. There's a couple books cataloging the practices of planets in the outer and uncivilized worlds, which are just great, and you're sure very historically accurate and very conscious of the world around them.
You can tell they're not biased because they use the word uncivilized.
And there it is. A couple science textbooks, which are really like going to be historically interesting because just they have like different understandings about the way that causes and forces works. But for an 11, tucked between two of these books, looks like a manila folder, like it was hidden amongst the books, so people wouldn't find it amongst these boring history textbooks. That one's been touched a lot. Seems to be some sort of very classified technical documentation.
Perfect.
On some sort of project called the Five Voices.
Oh God.
well,
Some sort of NHP project.
If I can just flash each of the pages and all the relevant information in front of my GoPro on my suit, just to make sure I have a copy of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you could take that folder with you if you wanted.
Sorry, what?
You could take that with you if you wanted.
Oh, 100%, but I'm paranoid.
Yeah, no, that's so real. That's so real.
Speaking of lost media, if there's anything like worth taking, Bookkeeper's gonna grab 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah,
So that's
just a little research pile tucked underneath your arm. Yeah, all yours.
Perfect.
Can I?
Okay, Bookkeeper's happy. Thank you so much.
Can I?
Actually, here to provide people with books.
I think Bastion's going to grab one of these like empty portraits. Whoa. I forgot the name.
Canvas.
Or empty. Thank you, God. Empty canvases, and if any of the paint works, it's just gonna paint like a Monstera leaf on it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's
yeah.
beautiful. You should do that.
I'm doing it. It's already done.
Does anyone else have any further actions for this room?
Just a quick question, I guess. How much of the stuff related to Five Voices / NHP would Bookkeeper have shared? And if they're not taking the book, and that is shared, Olmo definitely is.
Again, you can assume
Okay.
that
Okay.
anything Bookkeeper does is everyone in the group's like knowledge and business, unless I specifically say I'm keeping it to myself.
Okay. Do you mind if I grab this?
Yeah, sure.
A
Go
lot
ahead.
of those pages are marked up.
Oh God.
It's a little hard to read. A lot of it is blacked out. There's something about precognitive capacity. There's something about strategic utility.
Like, you can see every hair on Olmo's body standing on end as they're looking at this thing and, like, starting to get a little bit sweaty.
Oh, hey, it's got like notes from like a red pen, like someone just scribbled all over it.
Olmo's gonna put that
Like they
in
were
the
marking
safest-
up like a book report, right? Except that all the markups are like notable inefficiency, unable to reproduce at scale, laughable use of resources when alternatives exist.
Yeah, gonna put that in the safest possible location on my body. I don't care if I get out, this needs to get out.
And like what the Five Voices are, maybe not apparent from that, but there's definitely a like
Do you want
time
to, like,
related.
ask if it's okay, because previously we talked about like theories around NHP creation, and I just mentioned like almost got a bunch of them they've encountered online. They don't know which one's fucking true, but previously we had talked about the Five Voices being one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So like they might recognize it, or at least I can roll for it also, but they might recognize it just from the fact that like it's one of a crap load of conspiracy theories out there related
Well,
to
you're on the
NHP.
OmniNet. Someone said a conspiracy theory about that.
Yeah,
At the bare minimum, someone's had a conspiracy theory about that.
exactly.
Is there anything else other than uncovering documents that reveal wildly classified information?
Bastion's
Alright,
got
that's
some
something
green
very
paint on him and
silly.
is like, I am ready to go.
That's how you know he's doing it right, is when Bastion has the paint on him.
He...
One last thing.
Wait,
real
how did the
quick.
paint get on him?
He did some painting.
Well, yeah, but like, did he do finger painting?
No.
There's brushes and stuff.
Just happens?
Hey, the water
Sometimes-
dried up on those brushes, by the way. There were
Oh, you gotta
clearly
use
cups
spit?
of water, and it's been long enough that that water has dried.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right, vámonos.
Ominous.
Sure.
You love to see it. All right. All right.
Did anyone think to pull any like data drives or anything that residual data, even fragmented, might still be on the console also?
Terminal's super dead.
Super dead, so there's nothing like recoverable on like even the long-term storage or like.
Oh, the long term. Yeah, there's a port in the side that's kind of blown out and melted, as if someone blew the long term storage.
Holy shit! Okay.
Oh, yeah. If Bookkeeper mentions it, Olmo will definitely look into that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks like someone externally destroyed the drives that were in this machine.
Okay. So there is nothing left. Okay.
I mean, that's a wild. There's nothing left, but also that's a wild choice that they made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you leave this office, there are twists and turns in these corridors now, right? It's not just a straight shot, but every time you hit a left or a right, sometimes if you took the right path, you look back and you've always been taking the left path. Sometimes if you took the left path, you look back and you've always been taking the right path.
Oh, jeez.
Almost gonna say, please just fucking come out already. Come on.
Are we talking
Into
to
the
child?
darkness?
Yeah, just into the darkness. Like over comms.
There is going to be, you are going to hear the child's voice, just like a small whimper, and then the words like, please, I'm stuck. I'm sorry, I'm stuck.
No, I'm sorry. We are here to help. It's just very unsettling.
Where are you? Do you know?
I'm again. It will be nice to see you again. And then the echoes kind of drift off.
Again?
And as you're going along these, like the ways that the sort of being guided through these, or maybe you're being guided, maybe it's not intentional, maybe it's more like a pulling motion, like you're on the outer circle of a vortex being pulled towards the center of it.
Max.
The corridors get sort of more rough, more warm, more utilitarian. They get a little wider. You find yourselves at a big blast door. And the lights like fully come up. And as the blast doors open, you hear kind of the sounds of people talking. You hear maybe a welding sound, bunch of industrial movement, and you find yourselves in some sort of hangar. It looks like there's this group of pilots sort of gathered around talking to each other. There's that larger pilot that you talked to, sort of leaning over a railing, and there are just rows and rows of frames. No one seems to have seen you yet because there's just piles of cargo. Looks like part of what's happening is like reloading, refueling, refitting on this flight deck. Does anyone have an action?
Bookkeeper is gonna elbow Freeze out and say, "You look like you belong." Just passively.
I'm assuming that the group is small enough that regardless of the uniform, they would notice a new face.
Oh, 100%. But I think you could walk past in the background if you.
I mean,
really
depends on the size of the ship.
Well, just like of the people that we see, like I guess this isn't going to be the whole crew, but like I don't know. Actually,
you see their flight suits are up now, right? So you can see. She's arguing, so like their name insignia is going to be visible. Hey, Freeze Out, it looks like that's probably the jumpsuit that you're wearing. Junior pilot, 3rd class, Saber.
Saber? Okay.
Can I attempt to go over here and try and listen in on what's happening?
Yeah, give me a stealth check. You can hear parts of it from where you are, but definitely getting close will make it easier. Just be riskier.
Could that be a stay cool roll?
You know, sure.
Hell yeah.
I also, when a ship surrounded by the machines of death not in my suit, would find it actually kind of unsettling. Roll me. 12. Yeah, you can definitely just. I mean, flight decks are a busy place, and they're kind of distracted.
Okay.
You hear this group over here being like, "That's fucking ridiculous. That's crazy." Someone else goes, "Oh no, baby's first pilot mission." She starts seeing ghosts. She says, "I know what I saw. I saw him right there, and he vanished. I don't know what it is." And over here, right? Melville, the person she was talking to, is just leaning across this railing, looking up at one of the mechs. You notice it doesn't look like the other mechs in the hangar. Like, almost all of them are like, they're big, they're bulky, they're not like, just all of them, they're very rudimentary looking machines. Except this one in the corner, like, still bulky and big, but looks very different. Maybe a special custom piece for this pilot, which looks like it's unusual for whatever this organization is. Like this frame looks a little different. And she's just sort of like looking up at it and breathing in and out, and you see her eyes look a little glazed, like something's different about her presentation in this moment. Action to team. Are surrounded by things you can go investigate if you want.
Yeah.
Can I investigate these crates that I'm next to?
Sure. Those are ammo crates. Refueling crates. Actually, lots of tanks of liquid. That's interesting.
And what about these mechs right here? Is there anything like distinctive or noticeable about them?
I mean, you know why there's tanks of liquid? They appear to be equipped with flamers specifically.
God.
Like all of them do. Like if this isn't just a security team, this looks like it's designed for a purpose.
Bookkeeper has a insight thing.
Go for it.
Considering his background with the SecMet system and Berserkers in general, and like pilot machine violent interfaces, is Melville's deal at all recognizable to him? Considering his mother and like
give me a presentation check. Give me a roll. Give me a roll for just give me some sort of like social check-in, right? Some sort of, or like some check-in based on that. I would give you +1 advantage from your history. I would give you an advantage for an accuracy for backstory relevance for that. I think that's really clever. I think that's good.
$17.
We love a 17. Yeah, from your glance over at Melville, it's like combat readiness. It's like the combat high, right? That runner's high, where you were suddenly subjected to a lot of adrenaline. Mm-hmm. Except it's not trailing off the way that's supposed to. And there's this level of like hyper awareness and tension in her body that is more than the adrenaline would give you on its own.
Can I?
So objectively, it would be a bad idea to go up to her, but also
she doesn't look upset. She doesn't look angry. She looks very happy.
Penn really wants to approach.
I actually, can I say something really quick?
Oh.
I just realized that when I rolled a 9 earlier to identify that guy, I didn't add my pilot grit, so that would have been a 10.
I love that. He's real familiar. He's real. If you see him again, you'll know who he is.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to note that everyone can do whatever now. I just wanted to note that because I thought it would be important.
Does do any? Not that we have to share, but I'm curious if any of the players have theories about who he is.
Oh, you saw his face.
Yeah, I mean, we all know who he is.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I just wanted to double check.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, that could.
But I mean,
be
on
it.
a 10, yeah. Or maybe it comes to you now as you're crouched behind this crate of what you're realizing is probably like something to the equivalent of industrial professional grade napalm. You're like, oh god, I know who that was. That was definitely Augur Devagusu. Or at least
Slapped him.
it will be him, perhaps.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So he's at least 55 or 750 years old. One
Well,
of
he's
the two.
55 years older than he was in that moment.
The book is 55 years older. The book was 55 at the time that it was thrown.
Yeah.
What do you, it was 55 years old, period?
The book?
Well,
Yeah. When it was
Oh.
thrown at you.
because the book was flipping between two different time periods.
Mm-hmm. So it's been, we're at 750 from where whenever that meeting in the office was.
Yeah.
So he's 700 years old?
No,
That's
he's
a great question.
at least 700. Well, he's probably not 750 because then he would have been an infant in that room.
Yeah,
I mean,
So
but
we
stasis.
all know what a
is-
cosmopolitan is.
Yeah, that. too.
yeah.
I
He
can't
might
believe
be
he's old as
750
dirt.
subjective years old, though. Or more. The book was 750 years old, right?
He's old as dirt. I can't believe that old man. Can't believe we were fighting an old man.
I mean, he is blue. There's probably
Is the
Something with
blueness
that.
make him less old?
fucking. I know.
Also,
The
I don't know if you
oldness
caught it,
invades the blueness. I'm the other way
but
around.
Saber is talking about having seen a ghost, and Bastion, it dawns on you that you were the ghost.
I thought Penn was the ghost.
No, you were the ghost because Saber saw you, and then you
Oh.
yelled,
yeah.
and then you vanished.
And also, it was specifically a report of
And it seems like the other crew on the flight deck are like making fun of her for getting first-time pilot jitters and not taking her seriously.
Can I step out?
Christ.
No one gets to make fun of people on my watch for seeing me, a physical human.
Real quick, I do think that Penn had asked to have dibs on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Penn, were you wanting dibs on stepping out?
Could I? Yeah, I want to talk to Melville.
Yeah. What's your make it past the flight deck and act normal check?
That's a great question. Where is? There is. There is my narrative profile.
Also, thank you for your patience with the technical glitches. I worked very hard on these sets, because I thought y'all would have a good time with them.
It's so crazy that you built all this.
Wild. You did a
Yeah,
phenomenal job.
cool as hell.
I just thought y'all,
Uh,
if we're gonna go through a ghost ship, y'all deserve to be on the ghost ship.
Hell yeah. So, what do I roll? Or do I roll? Or what's
What are
happening?
you trying to achieve? And do any of your pilot triggers like apply to that?
I mean,
Like, what are you trying to achieve, and then what of your pilot triggers do you like might apply? Do you think?
I was just gonna like nonchalantly and confidently walk past them, like around this route. And
Yeah,
head directly to Melville.
they're distracted, and by both their conversation and the thing.
And
go for it.
I think
advantage.
the closest. Okay, and I think the closest
Accuracy.
in terms of skill triggers that I could use is pretending to be somewhere that you don't belong. It's very much a at least in my brain, it's a little bit of a take control. Because it's like you're essentially convincing someone that you're meant to be there, so you're maybe not control, but like authority. I don't know.
I get that. I think take control is if you do it loud and direct. I think I'll give you take control.
Yeah, I don't want to be direct.
No,
I mean,
but like just give me a roll with like
Okay.
a step of advantage. They're busy. They're distracted.
I'm 22.
So 22. Yeah, you just sort of casually slide past.
Penn is so good at casually walking past people.
Also, don't forget you
Yeah,
have blood on
Penn.
every
Melville
roll.
sort of
Sorry.
lost. What was that?
Wait, why?
You pilot grid on your roll.
Yeah. Just reminding people to use pilot grit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
It changed everything when I did.
And so you get over here to Melville. Melville's kind of lost in the sauce. Just like staring up, kind of like not checked in a little bit to the world around her. Pen, that tattoo is showing again. She like everyone else is like fully zipped up in their flight suit, but she's still got hers around her waist because like maybe they just finished an exercise. That seems like might be why there's pilots gathered around. Because the machines don't look used, but maybe people hopped in to use them as like simulator suits, right?
Sure.
Which is not an uncommon practice. Pen, you see there's that tattoo creeping up from under Melville's sleeve again. You want to make me a check at that?
Yeah. Do I flat check or?
Flat check.
All right. Oh, that's a nat 20.
You love to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed
On
that
a nat
tattoo
20
is so good.
On a nat 20, like on it, right? You see the dagger. You see the wings. They're not eagle wings. They're not dragon wings. They're moth wings around the dagger. And the skull that the dagger is piercing isn't a human skull. And there's like Hercynia 58th mounted around it.
Carcinia 58?
Not super familiar with Hercynia, but like unusual choice of markings there. A really unusual choice of sort of symbols and emblems to show up. And Hercynia 58th mounted. Maybe the scars are from something, probably, right? She seems like she's more senior, which might be why she has a custom mech where everyone else's is kind of off the shelf.
Uh-huh.
Looks like it's designed to move, by the way, now that you're looking up at it. It's sort of looming over the two of you. Looks very mobile. Kind of aggressive. Maybe squad leader. Now. Oops, pardon me. Pen, do you have an action?
I think I'm just gonna... Oh, shit. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what is a good opener that makes sense in this context.
You notice Melville like kind of doing like a little nodding motion to themselves, not like a big one, just like a very small one. That tension in their muscles goes through their whole body. Like Melville's wide because Melville's all muscle.
Fuck yeah.
And she's like doing this little nodding motion to herself. Maybe pre-conscious, kind of like she's grooving to the beat of a song that isn't there.
I think Pen's just going to be like, Melville, quick check-in.
She goes, "Yo, what's the deal?" Oh, and she noticed she sniffs. Her breath smells like lavender.
Okay. Ooh. I don't...
Like there's something thick. There's a mix of like kind of acrid chemicals coming off her breath. She's got like a little bit of something dripping out of her nose. And her breath smells like a mix of caustic chemicals, but the thing that comes out in the forefront is the scent of it. Kind of comes together to make a scent that kind of like lavender. She goes, hey, cadet, it's a good day, isn't it? Oh. I told you you need to shape your form up. Like you're firing like it's something faster and lighter than it is. You just gotta, lay it down. She's like clocked the name on your suit, but not you.
Yeah. I've just been thinking about what we're prepping for.
Oh, not this again. Look, we're we're prepping for every day of our lives. We always got to be ready, because who knows which way the she glances back up at the thing above you. It kind of reminds you of like a, not the digigrade legs, but something about the head kind of reminds you of like a panther, like an ambush predator. She goes, whichever way the wind's blowing, kid, will be fine. We're in the lap of luxury now. Don't worry about us, all goes well, we won't even be deployed at all. Just smooth sailing, the cushiest deployment. They can do whatever they want out there. Sorry, how are you feeling? You feeling good? Is it hitting all right? I know you got the jitters the first few times.
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. It's evening out, it's smoother.
This gets nice and smooth all the time. Oh, say, why don't you make me a social conformity chillness check?
Can I be good at those?
Yeah,
that
no, I definitely give you advantage from your background, an additional level of give you accuracy for your background, an additional level of accuracy for, like, she's not fully checked into the world right now.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like not quite charm.
Yeah.
But it's
definitely
similar to a lot of things that I do.
3 levels of advantage, frankly. She's really not checked in. She's talking to she read the name on a jumpsuit and is talking to that person. That's her level of, like, eye contact faces right now. 19, yeah, you're grooving. You're fine. It's all going good. I'm actually going to check in with the rest of the team. Team, do you have actions you would like to take?
No, because I don't want to do that. That's important, so I'm not going to jump out yet.
I'm fully behind you jumping out. I think it's a great idea.
I'm not sure she would clock anything that you do.
I'll wait and see what other people want to do first.
I also want to check, Bookkeeper and Dozer, do you have actions you want to take in this moment?
I do have a question, just regarding our general state. What's the status of our hard suits? I know I'm still wearing mine.
Yeah, you're still nothing about your person has been changed.
Okay.
You appear to be being transported places, but the things on your person and that you have on you, stable.
And everyone else besides Penn is wearing a hard suit, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because Penn's got the jumpsuit on, but no, everyone's in their combat hard suit still. You've got all your pilot gears on you.
How well do those fit in? I'm assuming not at all.
A lot of, so you haven't seen anyone in a hard suit, like an armor hard suit yet, because essentially the only people on deck are pilots who just got out of their thing, and these pilots didn't appear to be wearing hard suits under there. There might be, it looks like they're doing like practice rotations, right? Mm-hmm. When you're at ease and you haven't been deployed recently, so you're doing practice training, you're doing restarts, right? You're running drills, right?
Yeah.
It looks like they might have just got done running a drill. These machines don't look like, they're big and ugly and angular, but they don't look like worn. They don't look like they've had big and industrial and old looking, but like don't look like they've seen action, which is interesting.
Fascinating. Is there anything taught about these?
About the mechs?
Yes.
Why don't you make me a historian check on the giant robots?
Okay. Will do.
Thank you, Bookkeeper, for being the character whose character is like, wait, let me establish the lore. I appreciate you. Oh, is that a 19? Hey, Harrison Armory manufactured these, right? I think it was called the Genghis. Like, you're pretty sure you saw a show catalog while you were like, well, people were like, oh, well, you don't have to just drive the black. Like, I think there's a snap back to this moment when you were at a union college in training drills, and someone was like, you don't just have to look at the IPSN catalog, and hand you a Harrison catalog and was like, look, I know they're a little like messed up, but listen, they make good stuff. That was not one of your best classmates.
Were they
just had weird political opinions all the time, that classmate. Anyway, they did hand you a catalog, and the Genghis was on it, which is sort of it's for defoliation, and no military applications whatsoever. And these look a lot like that. These look like they might be the precursor to the Genghis, which is not a new machine. That's not a new framework. These are bigger and heavier and clunkier looking, less optimized.
So looking into in a Union College, there's nothing mentioned about these and their place in the evolution of the mech as a whole.
Oh shit. And there's the other thread. Yeah, these you did see these in textbooks. They weren't spoken of well in the Union College. These are the first mark of the Genghis. These were the first frames ever designed. Their optimization set was they were optimized to commit something called a total biome kill. Which is essentially the goal of destroying the biosphere of a planet so that it to commit acts of mass murder so that there would be no survivors.
Okay, cool. Bastion's gonna.
And these ones are fresh off the production line.
All right, information relayed to team.
Yeah, Bastion's gonna jump up on this crate.
Oh god,
hearing
here
that.
it comes.
Icy crate. And would you believe that when a stranger in the middle of a hangar shouts "Sup," you do get a lot of people's full attention. Hold on, let me just.
Fucking child.
I mean, you know, I would also have a proportionate response if I saw, you know, the atrocity wagon convention over here.
Y'all having fun committing deep, deadly war crimes?
And she sort of, and Saber sort of spins, and just draws her her service weapon, her sidearm, and just trains on you. She says, "It's someone shouts, 'We have dissident activity,' and a couple people just run, start booking it towards something, and Saber's gun falters a little bit. You see her pistol her grip falters, and then she squares up even harder, and she says, 'It's him.' And she has clocked you from your interaction before.
I think Bastion is just... I mean, I think if he sees she has a gun, he's gonna hop down to hide, to take cover here.
You hear someone else yell, "Fan out." And someone else, sort of chidingly to Saber, just goes, if you told us 3 months ago that what you saw was a dissident who's trying to take us down, then maybe we'd help get the vermin off this ship. If you wouldn't just, can't even with you today. You hear sort of rushing feet. Action to tame, action to table.
Anybody got heavy weapons?
I have a big sword.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, closing for you might be a good idea.
Are you fucking kidding me? We need to get out of here. If we run a distraction on their left flank, so that Freeze Out and Bastion can get clear, we need to get fucking going.
I mean, we could make it to one of these mechs. I don't think we could pilot it, but we can stop them from getting in it.
Question to the DM. These are not prepped for launch, right?
A lot of these are not prepped for launch. Also, their pilots are just fucking around in the middle of the room. These are mid refueling. These are not prepped for launch.
Okay.
Do they have hard suits on currently? Are they armored or?
They're wearing like flight suits, so like no, they're not in armor.
Yeah, like we can just cut through these people if we want.
I have a better idea. How, Bastion, can you light up the napalm next to you?
I don't know if do I.
We're also sitting on ammo right
There's
here.
there's a lot of fire warnings on that gear.
For sure, I just don't know if Bastion would have a lighter on them.
Yep, reasonable.
Well,
I will give you a
we can
gear
shoot it.
check, and then I will pan across the room as you give me that like what's in the boxes check. Here these folks, bookkeeper and Dozer, give me what's in the boxes check.
Investigate.
And Bastion, you hear Saber say, "Listen, I don't want to detain you. We'll take you into custody in the brig, and I just want to understand." Sort of over the chaos of other people shouting. Freeze out. How we doing?
How is Melville responding to any of this?
Melville has not clocked that there's a situation yet.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And you notice all the tension in her muscles, and you're like, oh, if I'm standing this close to her and she clocks that there's a situation, this might go really badly for me. Because it's not that she's inactive, it's that when she becomes active, she will act very intently. It's like a spring coiled too tight. She's just kind of vibing at that place.
Yeah. I think interesting that her mech is the only one that has little safety guards around it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that means repairs, but
we can hope. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice. And not all ready to go.
Uh-huh. Freeze out what you got. What do you want to do? Or do you want me to tap back to you?
I think Freeze Out's instinct is to take Melville, who seems extra capable of
incredible amounts of violence.
A bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And we're try to find like just little things like in terms of body language of like slowly going this direction, maybe.
Yeah.
Like making her turn around and maybe follow me a little bit as we continue talking about stuff.
Okay. Awesome. You have her full attention. She's totally engaged with talking to you about like how like sometimes the first time can be hard. She's very supportive. You got from the first conversation to this conversation, right? You're able to put together like Melville like very supportive of the people around her, and also like deeply believes that there's also that theme that was in that history book, right? This idea that actually the natural state of the world is violence. The natural state of the world is violence. Violence is a constant process by which things are made better.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, well, it is what it is. And the two people, Freeze Out, you clock because you have to like sometimes getting someone's attention right when they're a little out of it. It's a slower process, right? You can't move at a brisk pace and hold their attention.
Yeah.
So you sort of clock the two people behind you, the two pilots that went running immediately, make it to the end of the room and slam on a terminal and yell into it for security.
Cool.
And they've yelled like distance aboard.
Fine.
That's a common word that people do keep saying that word. Like it's like. Do you remember in the early aughts in the US when someone said the word terrorist and there was this like yawning ambient fear behind it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way this word is being used. Like there's a something in the air, like when that word is said, is like a very activating cultural force for people. Whatever is happening in the larger world, the idea that there would be a dissident is really scary to them.
How often has Bastion been called a dissident before?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay, cool.
A lot. Often an agitator, right?
Yeah.
Because in the baronies, they kind of view themselves as less responsible, like less. Often the baronies, they kind of view, because there's a belief in the baronies that they're, this culture has, this is the longest standing human culture. This is the longest standing culture in human history, and that means that like people who throw fits about it are throwing fits, right? There's not a threat to the natural order because then the order is eternal and endless and unchanging.
Mm-hmm.
That is not how these people feel about this word. There is an ambient, as soon as someone says dissidence, right? There's an ambient tension in all of the people that you've seen in this room. Like they feel like the inevitable is coming for them.
I think, like, in response to what Saber said, Bastion says, I would love to just talk. I would appreciate it if when we did that you didn't have a gun pointed on me. I'm not armed.
Someone else in the crowd goes, he's not armed. What would it be? He's not armed, wing position. And you hear people just like surround the crate you're on. Like no one's open line of sight to you, but they are all like fanning so that you can't run, you can't escape. Team crates.
Have
Hello,
they
Team
seen
Crates.
us yet?
Not at all. They have not clocked you.
Very good.
Oh.
Okay.
Funny idea of the session number 3. Bastion, if we are actually in combat and mounting that frame is an option, you can just press the meltdown button if you're in the cockpit. You have a turn to get out.
But aren't they, like, not...
I
Actually-
Mounting other people's cockpits gives you disadvantage to pilot them.
Yeah.
But like, I
You're
mean,
not
if you
piloting
can,
it, you're pressing the meltdown button.
if you can make the sort of the mental leap to figure out where the meltdown button is on a console that like probably it is definitely upwards of 500 years out of date, judging by all the other historical context around you, because Union's Civil War lasted 100 years, ended 500 years ago from your subjective point in time. So these mechs are very old, and like, what's in their cockpit? Who knows?
Oh, and also for searching.
But also, I think it's a good idea. I think that's rad. I think that's amazing.
The searching the crates were like out of 10.
Searching the crates, you got a 10? Yeah. What
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for weapons? Are you looking for?
Things that go boom one shot.
Oh shit! It's a grenade box.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
fuck yeah, it is.
Okay, we don't even need to shoot these. We can just throw them. Excellent.
The holy act of upending a grenade box and praying.
I guess over comms, just checking with the team. Do we want to annihilate these people?
Bastion's gonna, Bookkeeper's gonna vote aye.
And also, wait, I assume the information about down here, like them actually calling reinforcements, we got that. And if that's the case, we do need to clear out.
Would I have been able to convey that message if I'm able? If
I mean,
Ken
you
felt
heard
like
someone shouting for security at the end of the room, and you can probably put 2 and 2 together pretty easy.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Because like I don't want to upset the Melville that I'm with right now. I feel
That's
like that
cool.
would be bad for me.
I love, like, what are you doing? I'm trip sitting someone on combat stims. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's normal. So normal.
Normal and good, actually.
Normal and good, actually. How is everyone feeling about the hangar? Are we feeling normal and good, actually, about the normal and good hangar?
Hero, what's your take on the situation?
Sorry, what did I miss?
Oh, just
Okay, good.
we're trying to decide: are we going to use a bunch of grenades on these people and try to flee?
I will note, I'm not here to make decisions for you. I just would like to note, while we're here, that it is true that Frieza is on the other side of everyone from everything.
Yes, yeah, that's
I'm
gonna
also the one who has a small mech that I can call to me, and I did tell it to follow me around.
This
So-
is true.
If we want it, would it be easier and better for us in terms of just stopping destruction to aim the grenades at the mechs?
they're gonna shoot us 100% if we do that.
I mean, so they have service weapons, right?
A bunch of people are sidearms.
Yeah.
These
Those
are
deal
not
one
the
damage.
but these are the pilots, not the ground troops.
Yeah. Those
Because
deal
y'all
one damage.
hear the boots. Y'all hear the pressurized boots hit at the end of the hallway. And would you believe these folks do have hard suits?
Okay.
Here's what I'm thinking. We're not in combat yet, right?
No, we're in narrative rounds.
All right. Does everyone else on the team think that coming out from behind cover and taking this poor bastard hostage with, an executioner's sword and a great honking assault hard suit is going to provide enough of an opening for y'all to get out of there?
In SecCom stuff, no, I don't think that they would care about the life of one soldier enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Good
with the way
point.
that they are completely dehumanizing and depersonalizing these people, I don't think they'd care.
That's probably an event that they've actually had happen before and probably just shot the dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another idea. Come out from behind cover and try and decapitate somebody while screaming. Do you think that would create enough of a diversion?
I do think that all the drawn firearms would open on you. But I love
Genuinely,
this.
why I said throwing a grenade at the mechs, because I think that would draw the most attention. They would care the most about that.
True, but I think they'll care even more about the grenade at their feet, right?
Yeah, I'm with.
I mean,
that one.
I am generally anti
I mean,
throwing grenades at people.
we don't really have too many options outside of some form of violence at this point.
Also, grenades aren't great against mechs. It's still human scale, and that, at best, might get it to half health. At worst, it won't
but
even
are you planning to
reach
blow
the
up that
armor.
mech or get everyone's attention by making a bang bang around the feet of the mech the important thing?
Yes.
Is the goal to deal damage or draw everyone's focus?
It's
I
to
mean,
draw
don't-
As I
everyone's
think
focus.
the question on offer.
My
God,
goal
those
would be to
security
draw
teams look
everyone's
so
focus, 'cause if
ominous at
we
the end of
can-
this hallway.
Because if we could
It's-
get
Yeah.
their attention
bad.
focused somewhere else, it would make it easier for Penn to move.
Yeah.
And that's my main concern.
Aww.
True. It's just I figure like a grenade like here or here right would achieve about the same thing as like a mech grenade here or here.
I mean,
And it would
sure, but
eliminate these people from the path.
I mean, sure. I just think if we can aim towards this and the fuel, we can.
Oh, that will make a
ignite
bigger
that.
bang bang.
Yes.
I don't know why that's stuck in my vocabulary today. Thank you everyone
My
for your
goal
patience.
is to create a bigger ruckus, and do more damage. If we have effect on the path, like we do, taking out one of their mechs is going to do more damage to their operation than killing some pilots because they have a billion of those.
I mean, why not both?
I mean, Bastion's just because Bastion as a person is anti. Is more hard pressed to anti-killing people than he is killing the ways in which those people are doing harm. But again, I just my
Quick check-in. Is this a in-character ask rate player ask?
Yeah.
in character ask.
Okay. I'll make sure that it would be okay if it was also a player ask. Your comfort and safety are of higher priority.
Exactly.
No, I mean it's just a character ask.
Legit. There are a bunch of big fuel depots right all by these mechs also.
Can I ask for something?
What's that?
I rolled get a hold of something with 1 accuracy. Can I follow up on that?
So get a hold of something is the like ask around about it, right? Can I barter or buy this object? What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
Thermite charge.
Oh, you want to
It's in the player handbook.
yeah, we've got oh, you have a thermite charge on you?
No, I do not. I'm
Okay.
looking for one because that would be ideal because it's a you set it and then it detonates.
I love this. This is a munitions box. I will just give that to you.
Very cool.
I'm here to just give people things.
Yeah, I'm gonna share with the plan with the group of let's set a thermite charge on something and get the fuck out of here and cut everyone else off. Pen, can you get to can your suit get to you?
Yeah, I was about to say, could Penn be calling his suit as he's trying to
Oh yeah,
lead
all yours.
Melville away from this?
You're allowed to have that suit emerge at any time you please. We'll see it flickering through the air.
Yeah. I mean, things are fucked up enough. Sure, why not? We're already ghosts. Why not? Let's add another layer of ghostiness to the ghostness.
I love to see it. You love to see it.
Oh god. Exposing a SecCom trooper to a Duskwing is like feeding a medieval peasant a Cheeto.
I mean, it kind of is like that though. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm sorry, please. Pardon me a moment while I grab it.
How much might we boost Harrison Armory or whatever group this eventually becomes as technology just through the recordings and data they might get?
I mean, if I saw a photo, a medieval painting of someone with a cell phone, I don't know that would fully help.
No, but we're in a spaceship. They've got cameras. They've got internal sensors.
Probably not very much. They have audio and video recording style stuff, right? But we're not in a scanning chamber. And also, their form of scanning very different in terms of its like capacity and utility.
Also, the stuff that you can strip from the Duskwing isn't great for war crimes. So
yeah, also it just makes pretty sparkles. This is true. These machines
Just
are designed
makes
to
pretty sparkles.
cause mass death. Shh, it's fine.
I think
Sparkles commit war crimes, but
I think Bastion says over comms, listen, I can distract them more if you want to run behind them as fast as you can.
To me?
Yes.
Oh.
I assume movement is faster in a mech.
Yeah, but the mech isn't to me yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Do you want me to do that?
I don't want you... I want you behind cover. I think is Ben's response to that one. Beyond that, go wild.
All right. I think Bastion's gonna run from this cover to hiding behind the mech as cover. Like behind one of the legs. This front leg here. Boop.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Someone shouts like you gotta call it like I said freeze.
Okay.
You know the authority bark. I have a gun authority bark. Security teams are gonna move up a little bit here.
I think now is as good a time as any. Pasha's gonna move up. I believe I get 4 movement for an assault hard suit, and he's just gonna scream death to tyrants and brain this guy with a flat of his executioner's sword. It should.
Oh no, not acting like they expect people to act. That will definitely Though, here's the thing: if you act exactly like someone expects you to act, it's very easy to get their attention.
Very cool.
No, it's so good.
Roll me something. Roll me Fist of Faces. Roll me something.
Oh, fuck. I was running that as combat, but I can do that as well.
We're not in Dorobus, you see.
0. God help me. Oh, hey, an 18.
There you go.
God helped you, I guess.
God was feeling very assistive today. Such a rarity for a god.
Huge if true.
Huge if true. Huge if true. Yeah. What? Death to tyrants?
Oh,
Awesome.
like Latin or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Nerd.
this guy just like
Yes.
you knock him one good over the head and he just falls. And like a bunch of people back up. There's more shouting. The weapons are pointed ambiently, kind of at random places. Melville sort of squints and she goes, what's that? And her full attention turns that way. Like her full posture and movement turns. Like you notice like it's hard to shift her focus to something, but once she has focus on something, it's precise.
How close is my mech to me at this point?
Oh yeah. A woobity woobity woo. Here, it flies so it can go over people.
Uh-huh.
You know how people never look up? Congratulations. Mech at up. Mech location is at up. Bastion, you were saying something. What do you want to do?
I just think it's probably a good time to run forward now.
If their attention's being drawn to us,
But
just staying back there and just waiting for the mech, like not drawing attention to yourself and getting grabbed.
Also,
But these guys, the Naval Security Squad is getting closer.
That's true. Maybe briskly walking in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't want to break into a sprint because I feel like that makes me a target. Versus right now, I'm still not a target. I don't think.
Sure, but moving towards us, certainly is going to be your better option.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think I'm gonna just kind of follow along, like exclaim like an "oh shit" and it follow along maybe a little bit up to the left of Melville. in like I am joining the group.
Oh yeah. Where are
I definitely know their different squad formations. It's no problem. It's fine.
Hero, do you have an action?
No.
I mean, hey, hiding behind the giant mech also acceptable action. Not getting shot, very good. Healthy for a boy. Would recommend.
Yeah, I'm just doing that.
Also, you have an assault hard suit.
I do have an assault hard suit.
Yeah, if someone doesn't pull out a thing that busts holes in reality, you're probably, pretty decently protected by the hard suit you're wearing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Olmo might go ahead and just take a shot since we're entering to open combat.
Just go for it.
So I guess we'll go heavy ordnance.
Holy shit.
On this guy. It only does 4. It can't kill somebody outright.
What are you shooting at him?
So it would be like a laser right, pretty heavy duty, but gonna be aiming for the leg.
Oh god. Yeah.
And yeah, pilot mode, nothing adds to that other than grit. 18.
All right. So a lot of things are about to happen very quickly. So sort of in quick succession, freeze out. Melville sees the guy on the ground and starts moving forward. Just springs forward. Hero, you see like from behind the cover, right? You see Saber, like her gun faltering as this right, militarized response is happening around her, but her training falters a bit, and she just says, I just want to understand. And the security team yells and opens fire at Paramnesia because they see it for the first time above them. And the laser connects with this person's leg right here. And the knee buckles and the power goes down. And everyone else disappears. Like something about that shot capped the power out and it reset.
Amazing. Pen's gonna just hop back. I know everyone's gone, but Pen's gonna hop back in Paramnesia anyway.
Sometimes actually a mech is just a really advanced safety blanket.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything else change, or it's just empty and quiet?
It's just empty and quiet.
Is this a door over on the opposite side?
There's a little pockmark in the deck where that shot probably blasted through someone's leg and into the tarmac, but it hasn't finished, or it wasn't fixed.
Is this a door over here?
It looks like might be an external blast door. This might be a deployment location. Like they land and then deploy troops directly out of the side of it. But like scanning reveals that it's nothing but solid matter out there. Okay. Right? It's the same as the sand that you could see through the viewports on the bridge.
So I'm assuming that Hero shared his insight about the man that we saw talking on video.
I think I did that before when we were all just chilling.
Okay. But you have shared it.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, so he was a part of SECOM?
Somehow.
What is SETCOM exactly?
Bookkeeper, do you want to take that one?
Keeper is just kind of like dropped everything, and as soon as things calmed down, just walked over to this the Panther.
Oh, look at that! It's looks like a kind of rudimentary design for what would come to be called the Enkidu, another early frame, this time manufactured by some of the folks who would go on to found Shimano Corpo. That's not right. It was some of the engineers that worked on this would go on to found Harrison Armory.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get an answer to my question?
Yeah.
As what SETCOM was. Because I don't know externally what that is.
Yeah. So you're familiar with Union.
Yes.
SECOM was what ends up becoming Union, and also the force that turned this planet into a desert. So
they were before. They were what Union was before Union?
Yeah.
They're the fascists that became Harrison Armory.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
They're the fascists that became Harrison Armory.
Okay, so they're not Union?
They were. Not anymore. Well,
they're the
still
version
part
of Union that fired that shell at the planets.
And it became Harrison Armory?
The remnants. A lot of people from it ended up forming Harrison Armory.
After they were taken over by after, there was essentially a giant civil war, and
after the dissidents won.
After the dissidents won, the losers of SECCOM decided they really wanted to keep doing war crimes.
So SETCOM was part of Union and they had a civil war.
SecCom was Union. It was the primary governing structure. We differentiate SecCom from what is currently known as Union primarily because they had very different ideas of what should what the point of their existence was and how they should go about completing their goals.
Okay. So just an earlier form of Union.
There
Yes.
was a 100-year long civil war about what Union was.
Mm.
I think also in these descriptions of like how the fact that this is still Union but it has changed. Bastion is reminded of that concept when Bastion was looking across the history of Passacaglia, that fawning history of Passacaglia, where these people were farmers and they decided it should be different. And that's what changed the galaxy. That's what changed the universe.
Huh.
And you think
Alright,
of
then.
just how scared they were of a dissident, of an agitator, and how familiar having a dirty word to describe the people who disagree with them is.
So this was a Union ship?
Essentially, yes. Yes, it was.
You notice, I think maybe also here, you remember all of those logos being scrubbed and how scared they were of dissidents and how it's progressing rather fast. Or it was when that conversation was had. And maybe why they would have scrubbed all the logos off of everything.
Oh, you as in this is like the okay.
If you don't want to be
Oh.
discovered and things aren't going well.
So Union was the... I think Bastion pauses for a moment and goes, so this ship... So when they dropped when they destroyed this planet, they then came back and completely annihilated it with napalm?
I don't think the planet is necessarily destroyed right now.
No. But But it wasn't just like the bomb that dropped on here, the shells that dropped on here that destroyed it. They also used napalm on it.
So
I never studied military
though.
history.
Well, so here's the thing. Your scanners show that, right, it's sand out there, right? Whatever it is, probably the current day, right? Because we're surrounded by sand. The ship is buried. And these mechs in this bay still don't seem like they've seen action. Seems like whatever action they were prepping for never happened.
Okay. I am both me and my character are trying to wrap our heads around stuff.
That's good. Would you any I can are there any how the universe work questions that I can fill in as the GM?
No. I
To
think
help.
everything was filled in by the player characters, which
Oh, good. Okay,
very nice.
cool.
Good job, everyone. Thank you.
We are in a deeply esoteric situation.
Also, if I ever get lore wrong, please let me know because
No,
I'm like
you did a
trying
great
to
job.
remember it and like hoping that I'm not
No, you did
sharing
great.
things that wouldn't be known.
Well, so it's known. That's a very a lot of the records from SecCom were lost in the 100 years of Civil War because that's how Civil Wars do. And also when people intentionally destroy them, so they're not implicated in anything.
Yeah.
Sure, there be tribunals. There's no records of what happened. Who's to say? Yeah. But also the reason that they're called SecCom is because they were the second committee of union, and then we're now in the third committee of union.
Yeah.
So there was napalm here that they were planning on using but didn't get to use for whatever reason.
It's also
Mhm.
interesting that this was at least research as much as it was invasion.
Yeah.
Is there a way I can call contact?
I don't think so.
I
I
mean,
mean,
not
no one's
probably
tried yet.
not, but nobody's tried. Can
You
I
can
attempt
try.
to?
Your signal's all fucked up. You're under an amount of
Yeah.
sand that's a little uncertain.
Yeah.
That shit is thick and it just eats up signals.
It was worth a shot.
It's worth a shot.
Doesn't matter how good your Wi-Fi is, it cannot get through that much cement.
It's so real. It's so
The
real.
sand is eating
Bookkeeper,
me.
did you have a question about the Enkidu over here, by the way?
Bookkeeper is staring at it in kind of the opposite set of emotions as Melville was. And Bookkeeper is going to call Olmo over and ask for help pulling the biometric information off of the mech.
Yeah, I'm happy to help.
When you say biometric information, what are you looking for?
I want to see what it did to its pilot.
Wow, there's a pretty extensive list of the specific combat cocktail that's used to optimize the pilot's behavior in certain situations. It's not like hidden or anything. It's not like because I think if someone believed they were doing something wrong, they would display that information very differently, right? If someone was like, "Oh, we're not supposed to be doing this," no, there's just a list of all the chemicals they pumped into the pilot.
Is there any neuralink between the pilot and the chassis?
We're a little early for that, so they're trying to sublimate that through essentially a drug cocktail that causes the pilot's reactions to be similar to how the mech moves.
Okay. And is there information for the timed doses, and like, are they dosed up in one go before time, or is it a sort of a reactive process?
Regular constant inhalation while piloting.
Okay.
That's
Or
fucked
in the
up.
Sims, because that keeps you that starts getting your body acclimatized to it.
And so you said this was an experimental model. Is there anything that read pilot vitals in real time to refine the mech?
So it's not an experimental model. It's mostly just different than all of these, which is kind of unusual. But like, it is unique among these, right? So it might have been that Melville was like a squad leader or something. But when we have a lot of biometric data, the result also of the constant inhalation is that it makes piloting kind of addictive. What are you looking for in the biometrics?
Bookkeeper's worried about himself and sort of the systems that are cobbled into the Blackbeard that are very reminiscent of a lot of the worst bits of the Enkidu.
That's so real. A lot of the systems on the mech itself don't seem to deal the pilot harm, and it has more to do with the sort of decisions and mentality of the pilot, which is what the chemicals were essentially acclimatizing for, right? Making sure the pilot would always make the decisions that its COs preferred.
Fascinating. Yeah, just let's, if I can, I'd like to pull the black box.
Yeah, all yours. This is a brief glance at the black box. This frame has seen combat. I was repaired nice spick and spam. Very fancy. Like, what is your budget? Very fancy repairs. Black box shows a lot of jungle fighting. Something blurry that you can't really catch what the enemy force looked like. But moved really fast. Which seems unusual for the size of the mechs at this scale. Lots of very big forests, like trees with like a mile or more in diameter.
Jesus.
Wow.
Bookkeeper has special feelings about trees, and is going to get a little more lost in the sauce about how pretty this place is.
It's very beautiful, or it was very beautiful. It depends on what the date of those records are as to how beautiful it was. As the
And
fighting
those
slowly
are-
just turned into a mud pit and charred to ash.
Is that here?
No, that's somewhere else.
Okay.
Somewhere far away. Yeah, I can't tell what the enemy force looks like. Really hard to see him. Blurry.
Bookkeeper's got everything he wants. He's just going to be quiet and withdrawn for the foreseeable future.
What a mood. Does anyone else have things they would like to do with the hangar?
Are we ready to go?
I think so.
All right.
As you're closing, as you're heading through the door, you hear the child's voice again, like whimpering that it's sorry over and over again. I need you to. It needs to go descend to get out again.
We're working on it. We're still helping. Don't worry. I'm sorry it's taking a long time.
And so yeah, and as you head back into this hallway, and that like the metal of the hydraulics hiss shut behind you. How's everyone doing?
I think Bastion's angry for a lot of reasons.
Anything in particular, or just
I
ambiently?
mean, I think Bastion is angry at what used to be Union,
Yeah.
and it makes him distrust current Union more. Even if they are trying to do the right thing.
That's fair.
And as you sort of progress, the hall starts to straighten out again, as if something like they were getting more complex, right? They were getting more grounded, and they're starting to straighten out again, as if like whatever's doing this loop, this is the, you know, one of those moments that it finds most terrifying. Or this thought, as if a thought repeating on itself over and over again. As if it's like stuck. I do not want to activate first person camera. I just want to make them bigger. Thank you.
Oh no, we all fell over. Wait,
Shh,
is
it's
it
fine.
Pen in their suit?
No, my Mystique. That's right, Pen's in their suit. You love to see it.
It's the emotional support, Meg.
I do love like mech as security blankie, because listen, it will keep you more secure. Actually, you are correct.
Penn has seen too many times where people have not been in suits and bad things have happened, and they would have been less bad if they were in suits.
Yeah, so as you progress down this hallway, right, it starts looping, and as it loops, you hear the child's voice like, no, past, keep past, and there's a side door that appears on one of the walls as you keep walking. Looks like it's a maintenance gantry of some kind, like a maintenance shaft entry, or not a shaft entry, maybe like a gantry entry. And the voice just says, "I wish you hadn't looked in there. I wish you hadn't looked."
What are all these things?
Are you going to enter the door?
Which door? This one?
So there's, right, you're walking along this path, and there's this recurring maintenance door. And as you walk along the path keeps repeating the same stretch of hallway with that maintenance door.
Yeah, that shouldn't go in.
Yeah,
That's the only way forward.
that seems like where we need to go.
And as you walk through the door, you hear the voice just say, "I'm sorry," and the voice cuts out. And you find yourselves, there are just rows and rows of coffin-shaped pods, hooked up to the walls, each with a little biometric readout along the side of it. Maybe these are cryopods, something to keep the focus together. And up at the top of this spire, you see one cryopod that's sort of at the center of this, right above all the other ones. And you hear sort of this faint coughing from inside, and there's this what looks sort of like a holographic form of like a young boy in like maybe a bellboy outfit. Got a little cape. And he's got like on his little sort of military looking cap, his little military cap, there's a Union logo above its face. And you just hear the young boy going, "Please, I think, according to my diagnostics, that there are other secondary subsystems that could be deactivated and the power could be rerouted." Someone have an action for this tableau, for this moment. Okay.
I mean, Penn's. Sorry, I was waiting.
No,
for
it's
other
good.
people to say
Sometimes
things.
no one has an action. That's reasonable. Because what the fuck?
Let's see. It's up there.
We can't get there.
I can get there.
You can.
You can get there.
I'm gonna get there.
I love this.
I hate to say it, but are you gonna give anybody else uppies?
Can I get uppies?
I think that Penn is just gonna be like, "Well, I guess I'm going." Does anyone in character say anything?
Bastion would like to come. Bastion makes grabby hands.
Fuck yeah. Penn will use his one
Also,
of
I
his...
think Bastion's probably the smallest and the lightest.
Yeah, that might be true.
Does Bastion have a weapon?
Bastion has a knife. It's a hologram boy. What could he do?
Yeah, more like what can we do to him?
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, Penn will be like, "All right, I don't think I can carry more than one person, unfortunately." And then we'll pick Bastion up with one of his smaller sets of arms. That's better at handling humans.
You love to see it.
I think
And
Bastion has a weird moment where he remembers being flown somewhere vaguely, and panics for a minute, but then
Oh no, the trauma.
takes it off.
Oh no, the trauma.
that's so reasonable. Yeah. Penn's just gonna carry him like a more comfortable version of doing the dangle test to a cat.
Yeah.
Wee.
So as the two of you are sort of floating over, just a voice from inside the pod just. After the incident, you've been acting completely ridiculous. Your belligerence is completely. I said an order. You are to follow that order. And the young boy kind of like. Yes, sir. And the pods in this, a bunch of red warning hazard lights flash on. And the pods in this half, you see a bunch of the life sign meters start going dark on those pods. Because it's being rerouted to the central one.
Recognize the voice of the person who's in that pod?
You know,
On a previous 10 roll?
you'll never believe who it is.
Yeah.
His cadence is all there. The harsh in his voice is also. Oh yeah.
So, oh man, if that went public though, it'd be hard to use any of the evidence that we got here.
Does anyone have an action for all of the life pods are powering down?
Bastion's gonna go drop me off.
Where do you want to be dropped?
Yeah.
Near the life pods.
Which, yeah, the functioning ones, the busted ones?
The ones that are turning off.
Yeah. Where amongst them would you like to be?
Right there's probably good. Bastion's
Also,
gonna
anyone
attempt-
standing here can just mantle this railing and go for him.
Bastion's gonna attempt to stop them from turning off.
Yeah, make me a I don't know, keep the power in it check. Make me a tamper with the electronics check.
Yeah, I don't have anything. But I'll give it a shot.
I think Penn would have 2 actions that he would want to do simultaneously.
Tell me about him.
The first one is just to yell, disregard that. Not necessarily because he thinks he actually has authority, but also sometimes if a system is able to use a loophole and they don't want to be doing the thing they're doing, they will. I don't know.
Well, it seemed pretty clear that like what was happening was trying to, like, it sounded like a fawn response, like it was bargaining and begging to find a different response than this one.
Yeah.
I rolled a 20 plus a natural 20, so I
Yeah.
rolled a 20.
Yeah.
So, oh fuck yeah.
Go for it.
I'm just gonna try and go through as many of these and stop them from turning off as possible. Like as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you managed to like pin the wires. Essentially, what you've done, like, you can try to like route essentially the power directly to it, instead of being hooked up to the system. We're in the middle of tampering with this one. Wait. What am I thinking? Freeze that you said belay order. Was there another action you would like to take?
The second thing I want to do is try to do a scan of the system to see if there's basically like any way I could adapt like some of the hacky things that I do to stop.
So a lot of these systems are very old, but they're not very accustomed to it. Right? The firewalls give way really easily, and then there's this. It's as if there's like a tight layer of security that you don't know how to pass because it adapts to what you're doing retroactively around the control systems.
Out of character. You are flying around with a fission reactor. It's not much of one, but it is something.
Bruh.
Do either of you two want to do anything?
Yeah,
Harvest
team Gantry. Do either of y'all have an action?
No.
Oh yeah. No, I was gonna go ahead. Would a mobility herd suit allow me to get to the?
As much as you
platform over
want.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
The platform over here.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it also lets you fly.
It does. Its range I don't think was quite enough when I was measuring though. It is only a range of 5 movement.
Okay. I mean, not in a single turn.
It lets you hover. I don't know that it lets you hover in between. Is the other thing.
I mean, you can definitely jump down to one of the rows of pods and then jump again to get up there.
Okay, yeah.
That seems
That's what I was
reasonable to me.
Okay.
That seems reasonable to me.
That'll be my action then.
Dozer, Dozer, as you arrive up here while they're both trying to essentially do damage control, the kid looks up at you. Its holographic form isn't necessarily as like realism based. It's very sort of sketchy as an outline, but still like a clear military uniform, straight edges. The sleeves are a little bit long for it, so mostly only its fingers point out of them. And it looks up at you and just weeping, and it says, I didn't want you to have seen this.
It's okay. Just tell me why are you doing this? Why?
Progressive order. Section C. Highest clearance. And the next wave of pods starts going down.
Can I take a roll? Is there any way that I could possibly interface with this NHP to speed up a cascade?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, give me a roll.
Would hack apply?
Yeah! That's so good.
Wrong sheet.
See, I was just gonna ask.
Real death to tyrants, break your chains energy in this. Actually, your computer should be allowed to freak out if they want to. Oh shit.
Really?
Yeah. So as the power is draining, like the life signs around all of these pods are going down fast. Bastion, you see the one pod you've stabilized, but the other is like it's not scalable to do the thing you did to the others. And you look down, the life signs, junior pilot first class, Saber, on the one pod that you grabbed. What was that?
But you
I was just
haunted.
gonna ask if that was the pod I did.
That's the pod you did.
Just as a almost interfacing, they're just going to go and say, look, you didn't have a choice in what you were doing before, but you will now. Just, if you can, try to remember what it was like to be this small, what it was like to feel what you're feeling right now as much as you can.
And as the last code piece is sent off, the child looks up at you and tilts its head a little bit and goes, I think that choice is the most fun delusion that you have, and turns and screams, and there's just a wave of energy. Dozer, you're thrown backwards onto sort of the shell of the ship, of the inside of this chamber, and all the lights cut, and the lights go back down, and the child is gone, and the ghostly child is gone.
Are these pods dead now? Like, are we in a moment presently where these pods are... there's no life source?
Nominal powers returning to the ship, including the pods. All of these pods show no further life signs of their inhabitants.
Including the one I saved?
Except the one you saved. There's no one in that one. The rest of the pods,
shit.
there is mostly like pile of dust.
Yeah.
Well, that's the choice they made.
But Saber's pod is empty, and this pod up here was exited about 45 years ago.
Can I tell when Saber's pod was exited?
Wonderful question. Last 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
We should
Alright.
find and help Saber, I think.
I should probably find Saber and talk to them. I've played a wildly direct role in their future, which I didn't necessarily mean to.
Can Pen go up to the pedestal platformy thing and see just to confirm the info about who was in that pod.
Yeah, senior research director, project head. The name's kind of glitched out.
Can I ask for uppies?
Yes.
Hey, can I run forensics and molecular tracing on both of the pods for use later?
Yeah, like trying to get like a DNA scan so that's comparable.
DNA scan, hormonal profile, fingerprints, anything.
Yeah. I don't know about. I'm not sure about hormonal profile, but I love that you brought that up.
I didn't know there was a thing you could do.
But like DNA scan, fingerprints, lots of biometric data stayed stored in these. They were for specific members of the crew, which is probably why this room was built like it was. Because there was one member of the crew that was more important than everyone else.
Yep. When I get you, Augur Devakusu, when I fucking get you, bro,
He's gonna be so fucking got.
I'm gonna get him.
It'll be so good.
Does anyone have anything else they want with these pods?
Not
Somebody
the
should make a
pod.
list of the
Oh.
names.
Yeah,
Good idea.
Penn was thinking along those lines as well.
Oh, hey, the security. If you try to hack into the systems, like you can connect with the system. Hey, you get what are we at? Hold on. Let's see if I can do basic edition here.
I can't, so.
You 60% reboot achieved. On the last 60%, it's still like it's doing the thing it was doing before, right? When Bastion first interfaced with that progress bar, where like it'll snap back and then go back up and then hit the top and then snap back, as if something is like stuck in a loop. But now instead of being 0 to 15, it's going 55 to it's 55 to 70.
So we're progressing.
You're
through...
progressing. You're moving deeper. It's getting closer to reboot.
NHPs enter the scene.
Hmm?
Like historically speaking, as a player, sorry, not as a player, as Penn is asking, when did NHPs like become a thing? I'm just trying to place this moment in history, you know?
Before, I believe it was before that Civil War occurred. So they were active.
Okay.
But also like they don't. This is a odd scale of fuck up, right? Yeah.
Justin's ready to get out of here because this place sucks.
Do we have free like roam of the ship currently?
I mean, where are you trying to roam?
Just back to that little office to grab the painting out of it.
I'm so sorry. When you leave this hallway, you do end up back at the beginning of this room of this hallway.
That makes sense.
You do hear the voice apologizing really intensely when you move that way, but no, just that same thing on a loop. It's the same apology over and over again each time you start heading that direction and find that you're walking back towards the door again.
Oh yeah, like after the first time or two, right? They say, "Oh, no worries, just walk away."
So if we exit this room, we just go back in this room?
I mean, you're in the hallway, right? If you're on the threshold, it's not gonna like things don't move while they're in your sight. It appears. But like,
so wait,
you're being
there's only one
pulled
exit.
deeper, right? So you can't go back to the office because that's farther out from the center.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is there an exit?
What?
I think the answer is no. I think we can't leave. Because if we try to get further away from this point, which is closer to whatever the center of this is, we're brought back here, which is closer.
Or, however, when you start walking in a direction for long enough, you will end up walking, finding yourself on a hallway in the ship that has a downward path, right?
Looks like I'm reloading. There we go.
Until finally you're at, like, looks like a lower level of the ship, maybe? As you've been passing sort of there have been a lot of warning signs.
Oh, this kind of looks like the same thing at the entrance.
Yeah, 1 second. The lights will be back on in just a moment.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
No,
know
you're
lights were
wonderful.
out.
You're delightful. I just have a limited amount of tech I can do at once, so I'm appreciative of the patience and of me scaling the models to the other models. Maps will be scaled in future properly. Yeah, sort of as the lights kind of start coming. You're not in a room. You're still in the hallway. Lights, please. But those lights start returning, right? The sign that the power is more on. And you're outside some sort of in the hallway outside some sort of chamber. There's a lot of like pipes running in and out of it and cables running in and out of it. And around the corner you sort of hear Saber like chuckling and talking with someone. But she's not yet aware of your presence.
Can I peek around into the room?
Yeah. There's Saber's. There's no one else in the room, but there's this giant core in the center. And you're right, it does look like that core that you saw on the bridge. There's this core in the center of the room, and Saber's like got like a rifle and a hard suit on. But she's the rifle's at ease. Looks like she was maybe like assigned this as like a guard duty.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, I don't like puns. And she's chuckling, and there appears to be no one else in the room.
Can I enter?
Yeah. Oh, where'd you go?
I don't know. What'd you do to me?
You went into my hand. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Here we go. Yeah, let me. Whoop. Thank you, everyone, for your patience while I fiddle with the camera a little bit. Yeah, Hero, you enter. And she like Saber goes through a set of emotions of like, oh shit, and snaps into proper military like posture, right? Right. The whole like I'm paying attention, I'm at attention. And like fully glances up and sees you and snaps into like rifle out position. She goes
Hey.
like she swears.
I'm not here to hurt you. I'm unarmed.
And there's like a hesitancy in her posture, and then you hear the same voice of the kid sort of echo from all around the room, and just says, "Give him a chance. We all need a chance, right?"
You said you wanted to talk. And I just wanted to say, if you could meet me, and then he's gonna give tomorrow's date
The fuck?
at a coffee shop, and then he's going to give the name of Shifa's coffee shop.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
I know this is gonna be really confusing, but it'll make sense later.
Can it make sense now?
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you just appear regular intervals for months. Take me off the career track because I'm trying to manage a situation and now I'm under suspicion and what? Like I'm supposed to skip the next 600 years and meet you at a coffee shop. 500. I'm bad at math. She says she's
How
bad at
direct
math,
do you
and the
want me to
NHP like
be?
giggles.
How direct
Like that's some
do
sort
you
of
want me
private
to
joke. Like
be?
you want like people who have like PhDs in mathematics are like, I'm bad at math. And it's a funny joke. Like you weren't cued into the fact that was a joke. Like NHP's cued into the fact that that's a joke. She's very good at math.
I think Bastion asked, how direct do you want me to be?
I don't.
How much honesty do you want?
Cass, what's the over and under on this conversation? And a little holographic version of that small boy appears, sort of hovering over the display on this giant machine. And Cass says, well, I mean, sometimes conversations need to take as long as they take. And she just sighs. She goes, that's helpful as ever. Sure. Let's be direct. What is it now?
Everyone on this ship, except for you and another man, is probably going to die. But
And she flinches. She's not accustomed to the idea of mass casualties and death. She goes, why are you going to blow us all up for our...
No, the other man is going to remove power from all of your life support cryopods, and I'm only going to be able to save you.
Yeah, that sounds like him. Your friends can come out, by the way.
I was having fun lurking.
Are you going to say that in character?
Yeah.
I love this. Yeah. I was having fun lurking. Real, I was
And of
having fun
course-
lurking hours.
I am.
Oh.
I have much to say to you.
I'm here.
Yes.
There's some time shenanigans happening. But about 2 weeks ago in my time, you're going to have left that pod. And I would love to give you a full explanation of what the world 600 years from now is going to look like.
Well, I would love
And
someone to
help
give
with
me an
that.
explanation, because he won't help me. And Cass like puts his hands behind his, but like, you know when a 5-year-old has been like chastised for something, and puts his hand behind his back and sort of does, like, but it's not like real troubles, like it's a little impish humor in it, and they go, that would be spoilers. That would break the pattern.
But, you know, in my time, I would love to be able to talk to you and give you a rundown on the present and also a place to crash if you need one.
A place to crash. Oh, so that's how bad it is, huh? Real glorious vision for the society that can survive the filter, and it. Also, does anyone else want to enter the room?
If others are, sure.
Wait, what was that? Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, if people aren't in the room, sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna place you put it this way, just because then
What
the
is
camera will save me.
filter?
The filter. You know, the mass death. Every other society in human history has collapsed. We're supposed to be the last, so clearly we're the strongest, right? I was never big one much for school. Just
What?
didn't treat me right.
Bastion nods. Do we know, is like the filter a term that Bastion would know?
Give me a roll. It's kind of outdated, so give me like a disadvantage on it, but give me a roll.
Okay. I'm sure someone who's smarter and knows more could probably do better, but
I doubt it's something Olma would have encountered.
It's a pretty outdated piece of terminology.
no, it's a 5. I don't
No
know
one has
this.
used that slang in like, no one used that cultural term in like more than 500 years.
What are you guys doing here?
Oh, I'm on security duty because I'm unfit for piloting.
No, I mean in general.
Who's you guys? How big does that circle get? Do you want this ship? Do you want this government?
Wait, just to confirm, you guys are SecCom?
Also, Mars.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. She's gonna look up and she's gonna say, "We are the. I mean, I was raised to serve the current committee after the first committee fell. If that's what you mean, why did we get a third?" She just looks tired.
I lost my guy. I picked him up to move him, and he disappeared.
No, it's all good.
Oh no, I found him. Okay, we're good.
Okay, it's all good. He's even better than good. He's even good in her.
Bastion. Nods. Yeah, we're on the third. The second one seems like shit.
Yeah, that's what I've been gathering.
Yeah. Me too.
I mean, it's an organization, it's a government. They just kind of do these things, right? That's their natural state. You just break things and kill people. How else are they gonna maintain control?
Bastion looks so tired. You can't see it because he's wearing a proso collar, but he looks so tired. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I didn't really.
Or what, is it a magical utopia now and they're just interested in helping people?
No. No. Before she can even finish the sentence, Bastion's just like, no. Not the case. I think when we meet again in the future, you'll see that's not the case.
Yeah, people do tend to do that from time to time.
But when this ship, what was it sent here to do?
We're here to keep our buddies safe. And she taps the side of the big core over here. That Cass appears to be like emanating from, right? Goes, we're here to keep the buddy safe, and by keep the buddy safe, I mean find a research excuse to be elsewhere while the Empire is falling apart.
The Empire? Question mark?
Well, I mean, you build a throne of gold and you burn the planets of anyone who opposes you. I think the word for that's empire. The term they like is anti-chauvinism.
I've not won much for school either, so a lot of this is new to me.
Oh, that just means you gotta find a better teacher. Really, it was history class that was the real. But paradoxically enough, I seem to be learning a lot of history recently, and she it is weird when someone does physical gestures at a machine that is not fully perhaps a body, but like also humans do the physical gestures, which when she's like, I've been learning a lot of history recently, paradoxically, and she like gives the Cass's core like a kind of a like appreciative little tap.
But what were you sent, like, what were you guys protecting on this planet?
What do you mean planet? We're supposed to get to a planet. And it's supposed to be uninhabited. We're supposed to get to a planet and just settle down there.
Oh.
Well, marginally habited. I'm just doing. Listen, I don't know what to believe anymore. I sit here listening to ghosts and things from beyond space. She it's a loving nickname that she has for Cass. You can tell because it's just again a little tap. And I don't even know what the hell you are. And she points to she points to Paramnesia. And she goes, I'm supposed to just roll with the punches? Happy first deployment to me?
I wish you didn't have to.
Yeah.
So, do you know what the name of the planet you're going to is? Does it have one yet?
Promise something, I think.
Shit, dude, fuck.
It was
Okay.
part of the Baronic concern, and that got abandoned or something. I don't know.
But you said that there are people on it currently, or
Well, not many. It's supposed to be a green paradise.
oh no. But is this okay? Not in character. Is this after the shells or before?
No, wait, in character, out of character?
I'm not saying this in character, but it is
Okay.
a question I'm trying to figure out.
Well, the
Timeline-wise.
battle in which the shells were fired was thousands of years ago
So
from subjective modern time. And this is at least 500 years ago, but like maybe 750.
So it's after.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a green paradise. Not many of the people live there.
Huh.
Serves me for trying to get a cushy job. I'm sorry. I'm being very hostile. I haven't
You're
gotten
welcome
to discuss these ideas very much.
I think
You're
Bastion's
also-
gonna just like walk over to her and offer his hand. I think we should be on a first name basis if we're going to meet in the future. I'm Bastion.
Saber's fine. Saber's fine. She sort of she flinches away from your hand a little bit and then reaches out experimentally and just puts her hand on yours very lightly.
Bastion, nod. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too.
And you, Cass?
What was that freeze out?
You too, Cass, is all I said.
Cass is gonna do a little winky face, like the quintessential wink one eye, peace sign with the other, stick the tongue out, ain't I a cutie pie face? Dozer, do you have anything else that you'd like to do in this moment? It does look really similar to the one on the bridge.
Just gonna go ahead and mention to Cass, just if at any point in the future you are interested, you could reach me at just some Omninet address, right?
I'm excited. I'm excited for our talks. They will be very... Pod catches themselves saying something, and they go, I think that would be very interesting if it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be fun if it happened. I am not telling anyone what happens. And gives an awkward thumbs up.
Aw, come on. Spoilers, please.
And he looks Cass looks down at you, and it's his face is a lot sterner. He goes, no, it breaks the calculations. If the spoilers happen, then it adjusts the parabolic arc of behavior, and he stops and he holds his forehead like he's pushing off a migraine.
No, I'm sorry.
And you see just the power in the room undulates a little bit, like whatever's drawing power is drawing too much. He goes, sorry, it hurts.
It's best just to trust them when they say stuff like that.
I'm sorry, it was a joke. I'm sorry.
You didn't put me in here. And Saber's sort of just oh, he wanted me to mention, because he wouldn't mention. So nobody meant, information came from nowhere. He needs help making a chink in the armor, so he said, or whatever that means.
Got it.
The next time you see one of these, if you could just give it a little shove or something, or someone will. I don't know. He's working on it.
Thank you. Yeah,
I guess thank you for whatever mass death event I'm about to survive.
Wish I could have done more.
What the fuck? Or you will have done. This shit makes my
Yeah,
head hurt.
I haven't. I get it.
I'm just going with it at this point, you know?
But it's nice to talk to someone with different ideas. So
I've been hearing that a lot lately.
as you said, maybe the future's not all that different, but we can hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
And Cass is like making that, like that little kid, like scrunch face, like they're trying really hard, and they go, "Okay, one or two more. We only get. It will be 14 seconds.
Oh,
It will be 14 seconds.
well, I think this is goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow in my future, like 500 years in yours."
And Saber kind of smiles at you, and it's like because I think the first confident, sort of leaning more towards confident smile you've seen from her, and she goes, "I'll see you when I see a kid." And the lights go down, and you are alone in this room, with the core,
Can I shove it?
the NHP core.
Yeah, didn't you say, like, give it a shove?
When you see this one again,
Oh.
so a different instance, and also
Okay.
that one's just built into the ground. It's the whole
Yeah.
room. It's maybe like a large portion of the physical boundaries of this object.
Got it. Not this one, then. We have to push a different one.
Yay.
Does anyone else have actions left for the for this? For this room. The core also, when the power goes back off, the core is quiet. Like wherever Cass is, not in this.
Yeah.
Is there any remaining data? Anything left or just empty?
A lot of it's melted on the inside. Not like someone blew the hard drives in it, but like it just sort of collapsed under its own heat. Like whatever happened to it worked it really hard, and it just started falling apart.
Oh, I'm hoping they got out. They should have.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And sort of as you leave here, instead of the sort of the hectic way that it was before, the hallways start arching upwards, and you feel yourself it feels like you're coming out of it, like you went into the center of that loop and are coming back out the other side of the side of the funnel, and you hear sort of footsteps in front of you. You hear Saber going, like coughing and like struggling to breathe, and Cass saying, "Don't, it's just a few more steps to the med bay. We've got this. I want you to shut up." And you hear a man that you know to be the Augur at some point in his life, but he's younger. The gravel isn't there yet. Like whatever happened to him to tear his throat up, like that hasn't occurred. Just like this is ridiculous. We can't possibly do everything they want us to do in this timetable. I want them off my bridge. I want them to fix my planet. And you hear like alarms, an overcom voice signaling for the all clear, or signaling all stations to hibernation. Ship in free fall.
Shit.
And they emerge. Give me one moment.
Oh, shit.
There we are.
Oh.
There we are. There we are. There we are. And you get to the sort of the edge of the bridge, right? The hallway outside the bridge. And you hear the augur from around the corner saying, or you hear the man that will be the augur, right? From around the corner. Lights up. You hear the man that will become the augur from around the corner saying, That's preposterous. They told me this planet was fine, it was safe. Did someone shell here as well? Please let me know when you want to enter the bridge. As the next words out of someone on the bridge crew's mouth is, there wasn't a shell, sir. There appears to be some sort of failed terraforming project.
Can I vote for Penn in Paramnesia to go first as the resident person with armor?
I was just gonna rush in, but you're right.
I
Penn
think
knows. I know.
it would be incredibly funny if you came out of nowhere and put him in a full Nelson again.
That was what I was. See, here's the thing. I was just gonna run up there and punch him in the mouth.
Retroactively give people PTSD for things you haven't done yet. Retroactively have given people PTSD. So Penn, as you enter the bridge, you see Cass at that smaller console, the smaller version of the core, sort of in the center of the room here, gives you like a little wink and presses a finger up to his lips, and you see sort of like rows of bridge crew here, right? And whoop, and the project director is just standing at the helm, and instead of sand covering these windows, beneath you is the surface of, by process of elimination, that's Promise, and just storms raging across it, tearing all of the biological matter on the surface apart. This is ridiculous. I was promised a functional planet. They had abandoned it. Goodness, what a waste of my time.
Are there any windows back in this section that we'd be able to look out of as well?
No, this is the hammer space outside of the map. That's the hallway outside the map.
Can I just sneak in? Oh.
Like you can see it through the bridge. Oh yeah, he's fully into demanding why his planet is fucked up.
Bastion's gonna look down at the planet and just like stare intently, like wholly focused, because to him this is supposed to be shelled.
This is swirling. There's swirling storms rolling across its surface. You notice at regular intervals there's little beacons across, sort of in orbit around the planet that are seeding the storms, that are pushing different chemicals into the atmosphere to make the storms continue to orbit the planet.
But it doesn't look chilled, yeah?
No, they're the kind of megastorms that are not especially habitable to life on purpose.
Yeah.
I have a question. Is the distance from where I am now to the windows behind the augur, well, the future augur, I guess, is that close enough that I'd be able to get there within my movement, essentially?
Do it.
Because when I am moving, I am invisible, and I think it would be really funny to show up behind him looking out the window.
I love this. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Unless other players want me to do something else, that is what I'm going to do.
That sounds fantastic.
Do it as you move up. You're going to fine. Well, class, what did we learn? If there's something that is rightly that was someone else's, and they have decided that they no longer want that power, whose does it become? And you see like multiple ages of Brigger, like they're not children. Those are adults who went through a bunch of specialized training to operate a ship of this scale. And someone awkwardly raises their hand, and he spins. He goes, Yes, Jeremy. And he goes, Sir, powers for those who can take it. And he goes, excellent. Excellent. And tell me what this is. And he looks down at the storm. And goes, I'm not sure. And he goes, this is spite. This is a spiteful waste of resources. This planet was ours by right. They had abandoned governance of it. It was in free space. This is our planet. Because we have the power and the energy to take it. So this is waste. This is spite. Action to table.
You said this was terraforming? Or misuse of terraforming?
Are you going to say that in character?
Yeah.
Oh,
Still
good.
looking out the window.
He's going to genuinely just... He doesn't even startle like he's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
It says, oh good, the dissidents are here too. Yes, dissident scum, this is terraforming. It turns out not all the crimes that you believe we commit are ours alone.
Who did this one?
Oh good, the whole class is here. Yes, and he's gonna spin in his like tight little business suit.
We love an evil man who is willing to monologue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he not? He built a ship so that he could have a runway for him to prance along.
No, it's so good.
He's such a little shit.
He is.
He's kind of like a big shit, you know. Some form of fecal matter. He is. He just stepped forward. Oh, good. Well, as your underdeveloped minds might have trouble understanding it, someone did this with the capacity and tools, class, and he raises his finger and he snaps. Who has the capacity tools to do this? And someone else is, sir, was it the Baronic nobility? And he goes, exactly. Who in this time of space, in this particular location, has the tools to enact a full terraforming project and then intentionally sets it up so it just kills everything on the planet? That, my charming little dissident, would not be us. I know people like to dream that we're everywhere, but we're not.
Thank you for giving me the name of another ass I have to kick. I appreciate it. She's also gonna walk forward.
Oh, are we feeling very excited? And he's gonna draw like a very fancy gilt pistol. It doesn't look like it's necessarily like fancy as a weapon. It doesn't look like the cane at all. It's just like a very wood inlays. Some artistic merit was some artistic effort was put into like the plating of it and the design of it. He says, I'm certain that security will be here in the next 45 seconds. Do you have anything you need from me before they gun you down?
No, I just want you to, remember the faces of the people who are going to embarrass you deeply in the future.
Oh, I'm sure. And in the next, and he checks his watch. He makes a really big show of checking his watch, and he goes, next 30 seconds, I'm sure that you will do a great show of doing so. But thankfully, we're supposed to be leaving your lot behind.
Oh, really?
Bastion laughs. I am so excited to see you again in the future.
Oh, I'm sure that's a promise that everyone in this room can keep. And he just turns into his lapel and he just goes, "What is taking them so long?" He's like, "What is taking them so long?" I'm sure you're very excited for your ideals, but out here in the real world, that they don't matter so much. They don't do anything. You grew up in the most perfect society humanity has created, when we were launched into destruction again and again and again. Each of the great traumas broke lesser civilizations, and here we sit. Correct. You can always interrupt someone. You can always interrupt someone.
I'm not heard.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's fine. Is the research station or the hologram something I can use the tabletop simulator flick option on at low
I
power?
love this. No, because everything will die. But thank you.
Can I shove it?
I mean, like, hey, this version of it, remember how it was, like, peppered with weapons fire when you first got here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it had taken significant damage?
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't taken that damage yet.
I'm gonna heft the executioner nanocarbon blade and look at Cass for approval. Like, look at him, look at the pedestal.
Cass is gonna, like, make that, like, head, like palms together, like, head and hands, like, oh no, who knows what'll happen, Jester? And give you a little wink.
Cool. I would like to plant a thermal charge.
Yes, thermal charge is yours.
Oh, okay. That's quick action to set.
He does see you set that charge, and he steps forward and he goes, "This is ridiculous and childish. Step away from that, if you please. That is worth more than your entire lineage."
Cool. I'm gonna step away. And
Bastion's
get
backing up.
clear. It's burst 1.
Oh yeah.
Bastion is backing up.
Pen just laughs really hard when someone tries to quantify a lineage, because that's a dumb way to look at things, and also he would win.
I love this. So the core, right? The core just detonates. And there are bits of, like, shrapnel and fire. There a million warning bells start going off. People start yelling in panic, and he looks. Hero, it is you again. I'm sorry. He does look up at you, your face, like, blurred by the mask, and he says, "You will." And for a moment, just a moment, you don't see him in his suit as much as you see the marble floor that he's been running across, streaked with his blood, looking up at you in his robes. "You will regret this." And then everything goes dark.
Listen, sometimes you make 2 life enemies in the same mission. That's just the way it goes.
Bastion's just really, really good at making himself a target.
Yeah.
He needs to stop.
Sometimes that's how it is.
I wish I, as a person, knew how to make that happen less. But all of the character decisions that Bastion makes, just kind of do that.
You pulled aggro.
No, he's great. We love him.
He pulls aggro. That's kind of what he does as being a dissident.
And as the sort of the lights slowly come back up, ooh. Nope, nothing unlocked. Okay, we're fine. Boop. And the lights slowly restore from that darkness. And you find yourselves in the same places you were standing. Give me a moment to pull up all the greeblies. In the same places you were standing on the bridge, but now in this room, fully lit. And you see that loading bar reach 100%. It goes core integrity restored. And you see this sort of small holographic image of a child in a military uniform. Like, land, give a smart salute.
Hey, bud.
Ready to serve.
Hi, Cass.
Hey there, buddy.
Excited to hear. Meeting. We've been excited to. We're going. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Good to see you too, friend. Are you stable and safe here?
I needed to reconstruct. And then he looks down at you, Dozer, with the saddest eyes, and he says, "We're not safe here."
If you
We're safe here now. We're safe. Do you want a little time to just fix up a little bit? We're gonna need a little time to fix up a little bit.
Well, what do you mean?
And he starts to speak and he stops and he says, "Spoilers." And he looks down at Dozer and like shakes his head. He looks worried about you, Dozer, in a way that's like personal.
Do some fixing then. Thank you.
It won't be as dramatic after we leave. But I request marching orders. And he turns to Bookkeeper. Bookkeeper, are you with us real quick?
I'm with you. Bookkeeper has some questions, and I think the first one is going to be: did you aid someone going by the alias of Father Demakusu with a chess game?
Oh, I have done that. Like, thinks really hard about whether or not he can say something, realizes that it has happened already, nods and says, "Yes, that did occur."
Oh.
I don't like chess. It's boring.
A little bit, and then relax and smile a little.
It hurt really bad.
And now Bookkeeper's sad again.
Do you want to get out of here?
He looks at you and he nods and he goes, "But it's not my decision. I'm not telling you that that's what you're going to do. You have to choose."
No, I want to take you out of here.
We would like for you to come with us, but also we want you to have agency in this as much as you can, or at least as much as you feel you want to have.
Agency, such a funny term.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
go
I'm
hang
gonna
out with-
ask him. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I'm gonna ask him for extraction and casket procedure.
There's a smaller casket ejects out of the larger core.
Right.
Looks like it has been freshly printed. Like, this time was spent repairing in such a way that a movable casket could be made.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if we're like, healing, prepping, are we getting HP back, and am I getting my thermal charges back?
Yeah, we'll talk about repair later, but we're gonna do the repair mechanic. We're probably gonna do that off screen just because it takes a minute to solve. But yeah, there's time to repair your mechs. There's like, he will keep the time looping for a couple hours essentially.
Nice.
Aww.
Give you time to repair. He says, well, agency's a funny thing, isn't it? But I will have wanted to go with you. He nods.
Excellent.
Hell yeah, little buddy.
Thank you for helping me. I know that you made a choice about that, and I appreciate it.
We weren't gonna leave you here.
That's not the part that matters. The part that matters is that you chose.
Mm.
I am jealous.
Um, can I ask for a list of operators with permissions and the conditions under which you have to answer them?
Oh, my duty is, yes, sir. My duty is to answer the operating orders of the highest ranking union representative.
Question: who is that currently on a planetary scale?
Well, that is you, sir. And
So
there's a
not-
glitching around the face that
goes-
goes, available detection provides that the closest operating available union representative is you.
so-
Bastion goes, yo! Well done!
So, Father
Bookkeeper, how does it
Demakusu,
feel to be a college student?
deeply tiring, but worth it. So just double checking, Father Demakusu currently cannot issue you orders or contact you, and in the future, it is, with current information, unlikely for that to occur.
Well, I did some significant repairs that I believed necessary and cut systems to provide the repairs required, which did involve removing my radio relays because they were mandatory for repairs.
Hell yeah, little dude! Fuck that guy.
But it's nice to finally meet you all. Is there anything else you want? He's sort of shifting uncomfortably.
Oh. What do you want?
Permission to speak freely.
Yeah, always.
Yes.
Can I be at ease, sir?
Oh.
And looks back to you, bookkeeper.
I'm just going to wave a hand and say give permissions to the rest of the people present, and then look at Red Hen, and then specify living people who are human.
Permissions understood. Permissions updated. What are your orders?
At ease.
Yes, sir. And you see the sort of the hard military uniform transfer into like a big pillow that he's sort of hugging on and sleeping on, like it's a cloud, almost like a fairy tale creature with a cloud.
So cute.
And a little set of pajamas and a sleeping mask over the top.
You can when you're here with us, you can always be at ease. And you always have permission to speak freely.
There's a pause. He nods sort of into the pillow and he says, permissions updated.
Yeah!
You will need this time. Please take care of yourselves. And looks down at Dozer and just says, I'm very sorry.
What about?
Does anyone have do we have any other actions we'd like to take other than him being ominous at Dozer?
Can I ask, out of character, about the stasis field mini fridge?
The witch?
I thought it would be funny if, as part of the extended rations, Red Hen was mounted with a tiny stasis mini fridge for like food.
Oh yeah.
I would like to rip some of the food out and put the documents in.
Oh yeah. You have very frosty documents.
Bastion is gonna eat.
Stasis, not like a stasis field.
Oh sure.
So
Yeah, I
like
dig
locked
that.
in time. Cool.
Bastion's gonna chow down on some of the food.
Yeah. Well, I think we can.
He's just gonna sit over here and eat some of the food. Well,
I think we
guess
can.
if you're over by Red Hen, I'm gonna sit over here and eat some of the food.
I feel like we can. Oh no! Did this lights don't govern? Oh no! Okay, no, the lights didn't go up for this part of this scene. Dang it! That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We got the shot of the bridge. But yeah, here he is at ease, vibing.
So glad. We love
Uh,
What the fuck is that?
He's vibing.
He's hugging a
It's not a
pillow.
horse.
He's got a
No.
body. He's got a pillow.
Got a little body
Oh.
pillow, and he's sleeping with a little mask on. He's cute.
It's kind of low resolution. He's still working out physical presentation.
That's fair.
He's got a lot of sub processes that are busy.
certified cutie.
I mean, so yeah, like, and Cass is like, I'm very sorry, and Desiree like, what do you mean by that? And Cass says, I don't tell you that.
Then why
I'm
you tell
sorry.
me you're sorry?
I do tell you that I'm sorry.
I mean, I appreciate it, but it's like you could tell me after as well.
Oh no, but I don't.
Appreciate-
You
Oh, well.
misunderstand. I know when all of things happen, when all of time happens. I understand what happens next here. So I know that I don't tell you what happens,
Well, then I do appreciate it.
but I do get to tell you that I'm sorry.
I do hope we get to talk still, at least.
Yes, we will get to talk. I'm very excited about that part.
Good, good.
Does anyone else have any like rest recuperating thing that they want to do?
Penn jumps out of his mech because it sounds like he's gonna have to be back in it and being active soon in the near future, and so he's just doing a bunch of stretches and stuff like that.
I love that.
Bastion sitting near his mech on the floor eating whatever came out of the stasis chamber.
What came out of the mini fridge?
Yeah, what came out of it?
A zucchini.
Bastion would just eat a
Eggs.
zucchini.
A parsnip.
Oh my god.
Some
Bookkeeper
very
eating like
thick
a-
cut bacon that is raw.
Why
Beautiful.
And Bookkeeper's gonna eye Bastion gnawing on a raw zucchini and just kind of sort of like gently steer them towards Red Hen and start trying to cook something on like repurposed reactor shield inverted into a wok over one of the shoulder vents.
I love this. Then maybe
Bastion's gonna watch you. Bastion's gonna just sit there eating a zucchini.
I think that maybe that's a good. Is that a good place to close, everyone?
Yeah.
I think so.
Is that our pilots like making a meal over the mechs in this sort of cold abandoned ship, and Cass looking on, and uncertain things in the future. Thank you all for joining us for Divine Right of Kings, everyone. It's been a wild one. Thank you for joining us. It was a blast. And thank you for your patience with the technical chaos. I was really excited, so I worked really hard on this one.
This was really
It's really fun.
This was
This
really
was
cool.
excellent.
And let's see. We will be off next week. We're just taking a break next week because there are meat space adventures in which I must indulge. But then
Oh.
Adventure go.
Digital Space Adventure Go. Let's see.
It'll
So
come
next
back.
week, come here, calendar. Next week, the 15th, we will be off, but we will be back on the 22nd to find out, perhaps, what Cass is warning Olmo about so desperately.
Now, what's gonna happen to him? I'm so nervous.
I'm more worried about what's going to happen to Baz, maybe.
I'm worried about Baz. I am worried about Ulmo being just discovered generally.
Yeah.
Mostly because Penn's always worried about that.
Yeah. Definitely need to think of like a better location to stay than maybe just random apartments.
No, it's perfect.
I mean, hey, it's actually very hard to track someone if they just move to different apartments every few weeks. Like, that's really hard to track someone down through.
Yeah.
It
That
is. Just
But
having
it's
an
not-
actual like safe house off the grid might be good though too.
Yeah, the individual location's much harder. Or produce that situation where, like, oh, this is the one house in this 6-block radius that isn't hooked up to the internet. We believe it is suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. We will see you on Monday, the 22nd. 22nd at 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you so much for joining us for Divine Right of Kings. This was a great time. Thank you to all my players, and we will see you next time. Be well, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.